Okay. I think I'm sane. Hang on. I feel more sane. Slightly. I hate this planet so much. Okay. There's...
Reporting for duty. Engaging hostile.
AJ Palmer. Again. Which one, Mike Romano? Dream Whisperer. That one? But now I gotta kill him.
Incoming!
Honestly, this is probably worth the save time, so we're just gonna long that. I'm not gonna go to the last one though.
It's done. The shield generator is disabled.
Just what I wanted to hear. I'm dying to launch this baby.
Yeah.
Target coordinates locked in. Fire.
I'm not sure anything is worse than Belsavis, but we'll see, J. Palmer. I've never reviewed this game before, after all.
Ooh, the imps are really going to feel this one.
I'm glad I could help.
Wish I could have pulled you in from the start. You've made this op a breeze. I can't wait to shake your hand, Captain. See you soon.
Sure. Well, I think it's gonna be like a Switch Pro, Luco, or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, no, that's actually a really weak missile, especially for a missile that large. That was, what, 30 feet tall for nothing? I think they're pure evil, Zach Taft. I would never work with such evil. Excuse me, I need to keep doing operations for Spec Ops Group in order to recruit a madman, who is also a psychopath. Oh, God.
Hostile contact!
Yes, Luco. Anything without nuts or coconut. Or black licorice. Past that, I'm not that picky. Cheesecake? Then it's good. Where's the jackass? Hey, Mr. Red.
Help. Got to help. They took him. The imps took Vic.
Can you do anything for him, Dorn?
I'm on it, sir.
Oh, thank you. It was that traitor, Brel Oris. He gave the imps our position somehow. We fought hard, but they overran us. They tore straight through and grabbed Vic. They'll take him to the Balmoran arms factory. The imps built a prison in the back of the complex. No one ever comes out.
I'm going to get Vic back. Period.
You're a real hero. You and Vic both. You're heroes.
Your condition is stabilized, soldier. But get to a safe location immediately.
Thanks. I can make my own way back. You two need to save Vic. Good luck, friend. I'm gonna get back to base before these stims wear off.
Yeah, Imp. Imp and Pub are the two common ones, Act. Alright, let's see here. Let's see if we can find this mythical option. Really disoriented there. I mean, we have show alignment, conversation alignment gain, and show alignment gain on mouse over. If there's another option, I don't know that it exists. Bacta does not exist in Tor, to my knowledge. It was all Kelto back in the day. Bacta's much more recent, and ironically not as good. He is the sister of the Kuvma. Speaking of which, Mr. Red says, what is George Lucas's best idea? Getting this guy killed. These aren't even SIGs, by the way. They're just regular trash that just dismounted me. They're 2 levels below me, too. See you around, Luco. See, I can see removing that option if, you know, the dialogue was written properly enough so I understood which each dialogue option was. But thanks to Tor Effect, which we've already encountered many times and we're only one character in, no. I'll take every advantage I can to tell what dialogue option I'm picking. Anyways, George Lucas's best idea? Digital cameras. Now, that probably wasn't his idea, but he threw a lot of weight into that for a long time. And the reason we have digital cameras now is almost universally because of George Lucas. Hey, Crazy Norse. Kill me, Crazy Norse, kill me.
Imperial defenses will be heavier here than anywhere else on Balmora. We should be cautious.
Oh, I just got a new ability. Bad enough. That I'm not sure about, Mr. Red.
Again. Hit him again! Make that thieving liar pay!
Jeez, Blum.
Well, it's been fun, guys. But looks like my ride is here. Nice knowing you.
Drop your weapons! Surrender now!
Really?
I made it this far. Do you really think you can stop me?
She's got you there. Is this really how you want to go out?
Shut up! We do not negotiate with riffraff. The Empire fears no one. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
I won't ask again. Hand over the prisoner.
He'll pay for his crimes, and so will you! Shoot her! Shoot her!
Hostile contact!
Hi, Hazardous. They're all very dead. As it should be.
Well, that was exciting. It's good to finally meet you in person, Captain.
I can actually punch him. I'm not going to, but I could.
Welcome to Havoc Squad, Vic.
Now there's something I never expected to hear. So, what does Havoc Squad do with worthless enemy bureaucrats?
Let's not be hasty now. I am a man of honor, despite what you may have heard.
Yeah, nice guy. You stole from your people and betrayed them to the Empire by accident.
I've made mistakes, certainly, but allow me to make amends. A contribution of credits, say, to repay the Republic's heroism on behalf of my fellow Balmorans.
You can't buy your way out of this.
No! No! Ah!
Sir, he wasn't even armed.
It's not like anyone's going to miss the guy. Now, seeing as we're all on the same team, I'll fill you in on my little operation. That vault we blew open is full of pricey prototype weapons designed by Balmoran companies. Horus had them hidden before the Imperial invasion to keep them safe.
You did all of this just to get the weapons for yourself, didn't you?
Yep, pretty impressive work, I'd say. Horus planned to sell the prototypes for a tidy profit. We could do the same, after picking a few choice items for ourselves.
Those prototypes should be put to use, not sold for profit.
Quite right, Captain. These weapons must be turned over to the proper authorities in accordance with Regulation 87C.
I bet you change your mind once those blasters are in front of us. Let's just get to the vault. If we don't move fast, the imps might find the prototypes.
I don't know, Gigapudding. Like,
You
the
don't get
lighting's
that
just
yet.
really weird right where we were standing. Whatever, I guess. It's okay, I got a rocket pack. Oh, shoot. Oh, goodness. Alright. Oh god, I'm all alone. And my team has completely abandoned me and definitely not just trying very hard to keep up with me. Get back here. Oh no, not at all, Crazy Rush. She's my favorite character so far, by a wide margin. She's been 3 positives by herself. She's probably going to be a 4th.
You don't get to die yet.
Vic's an asshole, though. Screw him. And Crazy Norse? I mean, just because you deliberately stab me in the face doesn't mean I'm going to forgive you for stabbing me in the face. Also, why are you stabbing me in the face, Crazy Norse? I thought we talked about this. Wait, is that the Norse part or the crazy part that's stabbing me? I guess it could also be both. Now I have a quandary. I mean, we literally just talked about this in Wasteland 3. There's always going to be your token evil party member. And unfortunately, this game tends to have that on a per-class basis. So, meet Vic. Token evil party member. Six. Whoop. Ugh. Yeah, Skadge and Brunmark both are just the worst. I sincerely doubt anything's going to surpass either of those for, you know, bottom of the barrel.
You don't get to die yet.
Thank you, Shishki. Always appreciate. Let me write all that down. Give me a second. So we're going towards Black Mesa, Doom 1, Doom 2, Kingsfield 4, Quake 1, System Shock 2, and the Neo block. Thank you for being part of the show, Yunamisha. Fine. I don't know, Code Vein left some pretty big shoes to fill, Yunamisho. Unfortunately, it is not Crazy North Sea. It wasn't vanilla. It was at launch. People whined about it. So they removed the functionality. I can't even begin to understand that, but whatever.
Get up.
I mean, we're not sure of anything, ever, Crazy Horse. And I'm not just saying it to be facetious. Everything that comes out of developers' mouths is possibly a lie. However, that is the stated reason, and I do believe it, because people really did whine, and they really did pull back after the whining. So statistically speaking, yeah, it probably is the truth. I stand by my statement. It's just whining. But that's whatever.
Here they are, Sergeant. Go ahead and bring your men through. It's clear. Captain, this is Sergeant Tong. I took the liberty of calling his transport team in to get these captured enemy weapons crated and moved.
I appreciate you coming all this way to help us.
No problem, sir. Hostile pickup is our specialty. Where can we take this stuff for you, sir?
Yeah, sir. Where are they taking all these highly advanced, highly useful, highly valuable prototype weapons?
It's a tough question. We'll do this.
These weapons belong to the Balmorans. They should go back to them.
Copy that, sir. Get moving, men!
Because that of the Republic.
You're insane. The Balmorans are never going to share that tech with the Republic when they could make money instead.
Those weapons were designed and built by Balmorans. We don't have any right to them.
Nobody would have those weapons if not for us. We did all the work.
Keep in mind, he just wanted to sell them. Which is the same thing he's upset that the Balmorans might be doing, too. Thank you, Mr. Red. Jotted that down for Dishonored 2. Thank you. Vic does have a bit of a point, but screw him. Is, I think, the nicest possible way I could put that. Seriously, screw him. So I think we're done with Balmora. We now have, I believe, our worst companion for Trooper, so that's nice. Get that out of the way, you know? Everything's cool. Hey, Malachor. Something kind of like this, maybe with more gold.
I finally tracked down Vic. He's coming with me.
Yeah, I heard about the prototype weapons. You think giving them back makes up for years of Republic mistakes?
You're an idiot.
I don't have any agenda. The weapons belong on Balmora.
Yeah, right. Vic is probably the only reason you're leaving the prototypes. He understood what Balmora's been through. I could always tell.
Vic wanted the prototypes for himself. He doesn't care about Balmora.
What a load of garbage. I'd like to say it's been a pleasure having you here, Captain, but we both know that's a lie. Come back when Havoc Squad is done showboating all over the galaxy. We'll put you to work for a real cause.
Good luck in the battle for Balmora, Arden.
Idiot. Are you okay there, buddy? You don't look so hot. I'm sure it's fine. It needs to be super, like, expensive, ritzy looking. Like, I want her to look like a frickin' aristocrat.
Captain, were you successful in locating and extracting Tano Vic to serve in Havoc Squad?
Consider me located and extracted, General.
Good. From now on, you will speak only when spoken to. Has Vic given you any trouble, Captain?
A bit, but I cleared things up.
I'm glad to hear it. Tano Vic, your service with the Republic Army is hereby resumed. You are posted to Special Forces Unit 326, codenamed Havoc Squad, at the rank of Specialist.
It's a real honor to be here, General. I look forward to getting out there and fighting for the Republic again.
May I have permission to speak, Captain?
You're my XO. You can always speak your mind.
Thank you, sir. Specialist Vic has repeatedly demonstrated a complete disregard for ethical considerations and military regulations. It is my personal opinion that Specialist Vic will serve only as a detriment, both to this squad and to the efforts of the Republic Army as a whole, sir.
I agree with you.
I don't want Vic in my unit either, but I don't have any choice.
Well, you know how to make a guy feel welcome.
Piss
I
off.
understand your concerns, but we have a job to do. Let's focus on it. An urgent situation has developed, involving a critical part of our plan to assault the Gauntlet. Havoc Squad is needed immediately. A platoon specializing in bunker assaults, codenamed Safecrackers, is trapped behind enemy lines on Quesh. They must be rescued immediately. We cannot destroy the Gauntlet without them.
I'll proceed to Quesh immediately, General.
When you reach Quesh, report to Major Donovan. He's overseeing the rescue operation.
I'll follow Major Donovan's orders to the letter, General.
This mission is vital, Captain. If we fail, our entire operation against the Gauntlet is ruined. Stay focused and bring those men home. Garza out.
Are you noticing all that because plot that's just being shoved in our face again? You're catching that, right? Because it's starting to get really bad. The only way forward is with these people. They're the only option. It's the same thing we had back in Wasteland 3. Really. The only thing we can do is work with the Patriarch. Now, you could argue whether that's true or not. But my point is that the game isn't earning that. The game is telling me, this is your only option. Therefore, put up with it. And that's what tends to piss me off.
Still no word on the Deadeye's location. Balker hasn't had any success decrypting those coordinates we picked up. This is taking too long. For all we know, the Imperials have relocated the Deadeyes. That intel could be obsolete.
We can still pick up a new trail if we follow those coordinates.
I suppose you're right. I'll keep monitoring the Hollow. Maybe something will turn up.
Yeah, there's a few ways they could have made this work, and they just don't. I agree, Bamber. And I agree with Kira White Noise. How do you make a good evil party member who's not evil? Morrigan, Dragon Age Origins.
I'm still quite concerned about Captain Kahlor and his accusations, sir. If Personnel Division thinks I'm withholding information about the Empire, they can continue hounding me under Security Regulation 15. I think if men like Kahlor had their way, I'd be locked in a room reciting the minutiae of Imperial culture until the end of time.
Hang on, I just realized there's a perfect song for her. Just gotta find it. Give me a second. Give me a moment. I'm not sure where it is. It should have already been here. Where the hell's the song? There it is. There we go.
You'll get a lot more done in the field.
I couldn't agree more. I do sometimes wonder if I'm being unfair, though. I'm one of the only people in the Republic with extensive knowledge of Imperial culture. Perhaps I have a responsibility to do what few others can, even if it's not what I'd like to be doing.
You shouldn't be forced to do anything.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels that way. I appreciate you taking the time to discuss this with me, sir. I'll leave you to your other duties.
Let me flirt. Gosh darn it. Alright, whatever. 4X, have you found a target yet?
Sir, I've discovered the perfect target for our next operation. Lord Kavos. Kavos is a marauding Sith Lord, responsible for countless deaths. Exactly the type of dangerous scum we're uniquely qualified to eliminate.
Give me the full brief, 4X.
With pleasure, sir. Lord Kavos single-handedly destroyed a Republic outpost on Brental 4, massacring its personnel. He fought and killed 2 Jedi Knights simultaneously. According to intelligence reports, this butcher is becoming a hero to the Empire's ravening masses. Neutralizing him will help our cause greatly.
Let's make this a priority. Tell me as soon as we have a location.
As soon as I know more, I'll inform you right away, sir.
Okay, so... Quesh. Good old Quesh. Quesh is incomplete. That's the simplest and easiest way to put it. It's also not the worst layout of a zone, but it's up there. Oh, Jesus. Hi, Bragwin. So, hang on. I need to get my sewer level music going. Which I don't have a playlist for sewer levels. Yeah, Quesh is a straight line. It's very banal in terms of overall design, quest design, layout. Just, it's not designed. Ooh, Swamp. That's a good idea. Thank you, Giga Pudding. I don't actually have Swamp, but I do have something I call Dead. A lot of Metroid music in there. Hey, Ben Wilmot. Who was that? No.
Welcome to Quesh. You folks here to fight?
Wasta mi chakulkadu maji.
The poisonous gas makes for pretty sunsets.
Speaking of
which, you'll need this to survive. When it wears off, see a medic for another shot.
Can you give me any more intel on the area?
Da biska.
I've barely seen the place. I came here with the team to study the planet, but I've been forced by the Empire to evacuate. Though deadly in its natural state, Quesh venom, the chemical in the air, can be used to make powerful adrenals.
The Empire found out about our mining operations here and filled the planet with troops and battle droids.
Dangerous ops are always the most fun.
Well, you're cleared to travel the planet's surface. Just say the word.
I believe you just take a stacking, or not so stacking to me, a recurring dot.
Poison planet.
Speak to General Corvan when you land. He'll brief you on the current situation.
Like, I think you just take damage when you're on a planet without it. I don't remember exactly, because I've never done that to my knowledge. Thoughts on Dragonflight? It definitely exists. That's all I got. See, I have distinct memories of dying down here from the... where are we? Oh, right, we're on the Republic. That's where we are. The most low-tier story arc in this game? A smuggler, probably. Yeah, see you around, Crazy Norse. Try to enjoy the schlock.
We've dug in, Major, but the imps are coming on strong, and I never much cared for playing defense.
Just keep your heads down and your guns firing, son. Havoc Squad CO is here now. We'll have you out of there in no time.
Copy that. I'm sure we'll find a way to keep busy. Corey out.
What's the situation, Major?
The situation is a mess, that's what it is. Everything went south while the safecrackers were on a bunker raid. Intel was bad, alarms got tripped, and the imps moved out in force. Now Corey's people are surrounded, outnumbered, and outgunned. We don't punch them a hole to run through. Every man in that outfit is a goner.
I don't care how many imps there are. We're getting our people out of there.
Diversion is the key. Scouts found an Imperial command center deep behind their lines. That's where you'll strike. Equipment, vehicles, personnel, anything with an Imperial logo gets holes in it. The imps will rush back to stop you, and the safecrackers will get the gap they need.
Just give me the coordinates and I'll make some noise, Major.
Let's give those scumbags a run for their money. As soon as the imps clear out, Corio will contact you so that you can all burn jets back here. We've got a speeder prepped and waiting. Get out there and make a mess, soldier.
I should probably mention that, by memory, gotta keep adding that, the Smuggler Act 1 is actually pretty strong. But then there's Smuggler Act 2. And then there's Smuggler Act 3. And, well, yeah. I mean, I guess all of them fall off, so that's whatever. So welcome to Quesh. This is what you're looking at is kind of the whole planet. Like, I'm barely exaggerating. We weren't kidding. It's a vertical line. It's just this. This is the zone. Here, hang on. See, just that vertical line. That's Quesh. That's it. It is a microplanet. To this day, I'm not 100% sure how much of this was deliberate and how much of this is me having bad graphics stutter, like I was having 5 seconds ago. So we'll do this one. I gotta be honest, a lot of my memories of the Republic quests are very vague. I remember Jedi Knight the most, and Trooper the most. And that's because they both suck. I legitimately couldn't tell you the story arc of Consular, despite having seen it twice. I'm not even saying it's good or bad. That's kind of my point. I really don't remember it at all. How you liking Quesh so far? God damn, this is so boring. It's just writing. I'm as fast as I can get too, and there's no speeding it up. There's just all right. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Freaking music going. Oh my god, you're right. Hang on. Let's at least get some exciting music here. Now that we're doing the mission. Yeah, the game's traversal in general is bad. Just across the board, really. I guess I should go back. Being constantly waylaid by mobs. Speaking of which. Well, off they go. Favorite WoW piece of music? Hang on. I gotta find it. Give me 1 second. WoW has a lot of music, so yeah, just give me a second. This should be it. And there's actually another WoW song that's probably also in the running for my favorite. I mean, I don't know if evolves is the right word at that point. Horrifically mutated by magic, possibly by intelligent design. We will save Quesh, no matter the cost. Hang on, I got more favorite WoW music for you. I'll just skip ahead a little bit, though. Hang on, first we'll have a cutscene.
Havoc, this is Korea with the Safecrackers. We've got the gap we needed, so we're pulling out. I don't know what you're doing, but the imps sure don't like it. You'll have a lot of company soon. Suggest you pull out immediately. Over.
We'll head back to base right away.
Copy that. See you at home. Korea out.
Okay, my actual favorite WoW song is actually like 5 songs, because that's how WoW music is. But, here. There we go. I just want to listen to the song for a second. Sorry. It's a good damn song.
Captain, great work out there. Great work! You made that op plan look easy. In and out, hit and run, the imps never had a clue. Top-notch soldiering.
I'm just glad we got the Safecrackers out of there.
You and me both. Quesh definitely won't be making my list of the galaxy's most relaxing destinations. You got me and my people out of a tight spot and we won't forget it. Whatever and whenever you need, the Safecrackers are there.
I'll be glad to have your help, Lieutenant. General Garza already has plans for you.
Yeah, that's what I hear. It'll be a pleasure to work with you again.
All right, we're not on vacation here, people. Korea, get your men settled and ready for transport. Captain, it's been a pleasure. Contact General Garza with the rundown before you take off. Dismissed.
And that's it. That was Quesh. Hope you enjoyed it. It was actually slower than it would be because A, transport time, and P, I paused to listen to music for a minute.
Welcome back, Master. Your vessel is in flawless condition naturally.
Well, let's abandon this while we're here.
General Garza, this is Havoc. The safecrackers have been extracted safely.
Excellent. Very good work, Captain. I'll make sure that the safecrackers stay out of harm's way until our operation against the Gauntlet begins. Your next step is Hoth. The last specialist that Havoc needs is stationed there. Contact me when you arrive and I'll brief you on the specifics.
I'll head for Hoth right away, General.
Garza out.
Good news, sir. Balker finally decoded the first set of coordinates. Data points to an Imperial excavation site on Tatooine. Looks like my former XO, Torv, is being held there.
Then let's load up and get him out of there.
Ready when you are, sir.
Don't worry, it's a real quest. Because it's Jorgen, and for no other reason. Deal with that in a minute.
I'm afraid I have another requisition form that requires your attention, sir. Our shipboard rations have fallen somewhat below the levels outlined in Code 18, and the Quartermaster Core restocking estimate is currently 9 weeks. As an alternative, I'd like to supplement our food stores with products from public sources. Real food, as Jorgen would say, but commanding officer approval is required.
If we could have been having real food this whole time, why haven't we?
In the past, restocking through official channels was the simpler option, but demand is much higher now. I'll have us back to standard stock levels in no time. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thanks. Thank.
Success, sir. Lord Kavos has foolishly given away his position.
To all who excel in the arts of death, be it known that Lord Kavos, Master of Combat, seeks a lieutenant to serve him. I seek a worthy right hand to carry out my commands across the galaxy, and profit immensely. Those who think themselves suited should present themselves at the coordinates included in this message. Come prepared.
Kavos had to know this would be intercepted. He isn't afraid of anything, is he?
Don't worry, sir. He'll learn to fear the justice of the Republic soon enough. The coordinates are on Tatooine, sir. I recommend we move quickly before Kavos can find a suitable lieutenant and move on. For the Republic.
Perfect. To Tatooine!
Target neutralized.
And we're back.
Lord Kavos will threaten the innocent people of the galaxy no longer. As expected, his overconfidence made his defeat all but certain. I simply took my place among the scum, hoping to gain his favor, then struck at the first opportunity.
But that got you a lot closer than you would have otherwise.
Precisely, sir. Lord Kavos decided that a fight to the death would determine his champion. Every man for himself. Once the fighting began, I closed in. I started by grabbing a Nikto thug who was making liberal use of a flamethrower. With pinpoint accuracy, I hurled him toward Kavos, whose robes were instantly ignited.
Wish we could have seen that.
I imagine that kept Kavos' attention pretty well.
It did, sir. Although Kavos was thoroughly distracted, I remained cautious and did not engage him directly. Instead, I targeted a nearby Mandalorian using a jetpack. As soon as his velocity and flight vector were pointed correctly, I opened fire with my cannons, sending him barreling into Kavos and the Nikto. The explosion did the rest.
It sounds like you carried out your mission with exceptional skill.
Thank you very much, sir. This was a critical victory. Our comrades are sure to take heart when they hear that a monster like Kavos has been laid low. I'll begin searching for a new target at once.
Take your time. I know, right, Malachor? Like, at a certain point, either they're literally trolling us, or they thought there was no way they could actually do these, in cutscenes, so didn't even try. So they just describe them. There's going to be several examples of that for several companions across several classes, by the way.
This is just too good. I get slick equipment, a nice ride, and a ready supply of every explosive there ever was. I think this will do, boss.
I try to run a good outfit.
I'm sure you do. Trust me. You keep me happy, I'll keep you happy. Now let's go put some of this fancy equipment to use. All right, boss. Time to talk some business. Bunch of credits just came through from a weapons deal I had going on Balmora. Another weapons deal I had going back on Balmora. This is your cut.
How many schemes do you have going, Vic?
They're not schemes. They're opportunities. And not just for me. You're the new boss. You get a cut no matter what.
Hey. Okay. Well, screw it. Back to Fat Chocobo.
Boss, this is not where I figured I'd end up when I enlisted. Growing up on Nar Shaddaa, you only joined the army for the free ticket out of there.
You enlisted so you could leave Nar Shaddaa?
You better believe it. Before the army, I ran with whatever gang had the loosest boss and the most spare detonite. Had a long list of enemies. Even street trash take it bad when you blow up their buddies.
Ever wish you could go home again?
I've been back to that slime hole plenty of times. The heat's more than died down now. Joining up turned out to be the best idea I ever had. A lot more fun than running with those scrubs back on the streets. Most of the time.
Sounds like everything worked out for you.
It's why I've got this sunny disposition. Enough reminiscing. Let's go trash something, huh?
So what you're saying, Kay, is all I need to do to bribe you into submission is to bribe you into submission? Damn, that's gonna be easier than I thought.
Hey, come here. This is going to be hilarious. Remember the credits I brought in from that old weapons sale? Those were from my second buyer. The first guy I lined up wasn't offering as much as I liked, so I bailed on him. Cheap jerk is all worked up that I sold him to someone else. He's trying to put a scare in me.
Wouldn't it be easier to just ignore the guy?
Easier? Sure. But this is more fun. Guy's name is Red Hand Magarin. He runs a few guns. Thinks he's a real tough guy. Hey there, Red.
My guns, Vic. Where are they?
Well, I was having a chat with my new boss, the commander of Havoc Squad, and we decided to go with another buyer.
If that's the commander of Havoc Squad, I'm the king of Alderaan. I want those guns, Vic.
I assure you, I'm Havoc Squad CO.
I hope Vic's paying you good to get on my nerves. When you back out on a deal with me, there are consequences, Vic. I'll be seeing you.
Uh-oh, consequences. I hope I don't lose any sleep.
I can't believe he thought we'd be scared of him.
No joke. I'm glad we didn't do business with him. We'd look stupid. Come on. Let's find something else to do.
Okay. Now we go back to Tatooine to interact with Moron Boy. You know, you'd think he wouldn't like Tatooine considering he's a Cathar. But, you know, here we are, I suppose. I do not like Veg. Ah! But... No, don't go to Tatooine. Wait for me on Hoth. I'm just doing the side quest. This really shouldn't take long. Oh god, friggin' Hoth. So hang on. Before I talk about anything else, I am going to give everyone who is watching this, who is not familiar with this game, a visual warning for Hoth. This is going to hurt your eyes for Hoth. I'm not sure what to call it, to be completely honest with you. It's a flashbang. That's a good word. I like that. Hoth is a bit of a flashbang that never really goes away. Now you're probably thinking, of course it is, Lore. It's snowy. In which case you're stupid. Because many, many games and movies and shows have understood that when you show something bright and white, there's an artistry to doing that as opposed to just literally making it be bright and white. Like, you think this is bad with Tatooine? No, what you're looking at is an array of colors right there. Think this, but white and bright. Yeah, I feel like I remember this one.
Welcome. Please select an available travel route.
Yeah, the travel times on Hoth are also similar to the travel times on Tatooine. So, bright and white with no end in sight. Yeah, Hoth is a perfect example of what I talked about just a minute ago with Tatooine, actually. There's a whole lot of work and effort that goes into visual and audio design to make something look better than real. It's a really common thing. Hoth is such a perfect example of that. Because Hoth looks a lot how like a snowy wasteland would actually work. I can confirm that. I have encountered snow blindness in life. Terrifying experience, by the way, legitimately. Doesn't mean that should be in a video game. Looks like I should probably... Oh my god, that is way over there. Oh, okay, we'll go this way. What's funny is I have several good memories of Hoth from a story perspective. It gives us our first real insight into the Chiss. Sith Warriors arc there is pretty good. Sith Inquisitors arc there is pretty good. Well, you'll have to be the judge of that, Kay. I think I'm going the right way. I'm not even sure. Oh, sorry, Yada. Sorry. I was just enjoying the music. Let's play another song that I enjoy for no good reason. I'd say it's a good challenge if it's done right, Disco. Which it rarely is, I might add. I didn't give it the negative, Caspian. Thought about it. And this too. Honestly, this is just... whether it's done correctly or not, Disco. I'm gonna take a nap. Wake me when we get there. Oh my god, I hate this goddamn run. No, Disco. But what I will tell you is very simple. So, I cannot think of any example of it being done wrong. Oh, I thought you were just complaining, Yada. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say just. I thought you were complaining. And so I wanted to not play music that you hated. That was the Harvest Song, which is a town song from the Pixel Remaster version of Final Fantasy V. I hate this... sorry, I don't mean I hate the run, capital R. I mean I hate this exact trip that I'm taking right now. So, this is just... Yep, so there's, This is the spot, isn't it? Yeah, it's, okay. This is it, right? Like, I'm remembering correctly? Like, I have to go through these champion PvP mobs to get over there? Just making sure I'm remembering correctly before I go get myself killed. Okay, this is not it. Where the hell am I going, then? Whatever, screw it! Go! 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 Run! Run! Okay, keep running! Keep running. Oh god, where's my buttons? Where's my buttons? Okay. We're dead. Oh, thank god. Alright, now. Hang on. And we have a few seconds. Literally. Come on. Come on, give me my kid Gary. Okay, go! Go! We want to go this way. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. 4. Oh, we made it. Run! We made it. Okay, we did it. Whew, alright. That was actually easier than I thought it would be. I hate this zone so much. No, I didn't get dazed. I got pasted. There's the difference. Yeah. So hang on, where's Jorgen? There we go. Very well, Retro. When I come here on the Sith, I'll kill a bunch of my own people for no good reason. How's that sound? Hey, James Carmichael. Ding. I mean, it'll be for a good reason. They just won't know. I'll just be like, ah. And they'll be like, what are you doing killing me? And I'll be like, ah. You killed me, ah. You must have Jorgen with you.
Good to go. On your feet, soldiers.
Lieutenant Jorgen? What are you doing here?
It's Sergeant now. Don't ask. And I'm getting you out of here.
Thought we'd have been out of here weeks ago. Who's this?
Hold on. You knew someone would come rescue you?
That was part of the plan, wasn't it?
Plan? What plan?
It's all there in our mission outline. Didn't Zane brief you?
Zane?
No, because he's an idiot.
As in Senior Agent Zane? Man's been nothing but trouble for us.
So he didn't... Oh. Then I'm afraid I can't say anything more. SIS orders.
We just saved your life. Now start talking.
That's not what I meant, but whatever.
Okay, look, we let ourselves get caught. Part of some top-secret SIS op. They implanted tracking devices in us. Plan was to follow us through Imperial space, find out where the imps ship their POWs, and then come rescue us.
It looks like someone forgot to follow through with that last part.
Nobody anticipated the imps would split us up, send us to labor details. Surprised the SIS didn't spring us then.
Typical SIS. Should have known better than to trust those spooks.
Too good an opportunity. You know how many troops we have in those camps.
What if the Imperials had executed you?
Then they'd be dead.
You had good intentions, Jorgen.
Yeah. And it landed him in an Imperial labor camp with no ticket home. But you're right. We'll have it out with the SIS later. For now, just sit tight. I'll call for an evac, get you boys home. Well, they're off. The SIS better have a good reason for leaving those men behind.
Zane is involved. Maybe he wants to enlighten us.
I'm sure he'll have something to say about this rescue op of ours. Anyway, we've done all we can for now. I'll see about getting the rest of those coordinates decrypted. Here.
Well, that was certainly worth my time. So, Hoth. Hit wrong button. It's okay, I have a cold playlist too. Although we'll play actual Hoth music to start, as we usually do.
Come in, Captain. This is General Garza. I understand you've just docked over Hoth. Hoth is locked in a three-way resource battle between the Republic, the Sith Empire, and a powerful alliance of pirate warlords. It's pure chaos.
What's so valuable on an ice world?
Hoth was the site of a major fleet battle during the First War. Many advanced warships, both Republic and Imperial, crashed on its surface. Both sides need the material from those ships, and both sides want to learn the secrets of the other. The pirates, of course, see opportunity.
If our people need help, they can count on Havoc Squad support.
I'm sure any assistance would be deeply appreciated, Captain. You're recruiting a technical specialist named Sergeant Yun. Judging by his service record, he's the finest technician in the entire Republic military. Yun is a Gand, an uncommon species in the Republic, and he follows an indigenous shamanistic training. No one understands it, but his results are unmatched.
What's a Gand?
Gands are insectoid bipeds, native to a planet of the same name. They rarely leave their homeworld, making Yun doubly exceptional. Currently, he's scavenging crashed Imperial warships to piece together a functional Umbra encryptor, the machine responsible for the Empire's most secure military codes. It's critical that Yun completes the Umbra encryptor. We've never come close to breaking the code, and the amount of intelligence we could gain is immense.
With Havoc's help, the job will be done in no time.
Yun has already been informed of his transfer into Havoc Squad. I'm told he's excited to meet you. Contact me again when the mission is concluded and Yun has completed the Umbra encryptor. Garza out.
Yeah, the whole point of Hoth in the original trilogy was that no one would ever look there for the rebel base. That was the whole point of it. It was extraordinarily hostile and required daily function just to keep, you know, living there. But no, let's keep bringing Hoth back for the same reason keep bringing Tatooine back. Oh, and get out of my party.
Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Nah, nobody likes Endor. You liking all this completely needless padding, by the way? There's a lot of that in Tor. Like, a lot. You see here, tracing the lines of the smoke damage, we see the path through the snows. Each piece shows signs leading to the next.
That's amazing. I never would have imagined. Officer on deck!
Captain, Yun is pleased to make your honorable acquaintance and to share this hunt for knowledge with one so renowned.
Why don't you give me the details of your operation, Sergeant?
The signs guide Yun to the Crescent Canyon facility nearby. It was built by Ortolan colonists, but is now conquered by Imperials. Also, my cloak is glitching through me. as will often happen. Imperial computers in the facility will contain locations of Imperial shipwrecks. Imperial shipwrecks will contain the Umbra components we seek.
Having the Imperial's own records should speed up our search.
Imperial security in the Crescent Canyon facility is very strong. There are many dangers and sealed doors within that must be bypassed. Yoon's team will disable the security meshes from the wings while Havoc Squad activates the Imperial database. Is this agreeable?
Havoc's used to going in first. Just point us in the right direction.
Before infiltration begins, Yoon asks the Havoc Squad to disable motion sensors, which would alert Imperials to our intentions. They are spread across the perimeter. Yoon will contact you when new infiltration has begun. Please journey carefully, newfound friend. They do, pancakes. So, Hoth music. Any plans for a premiere run of Total War Warhammer 3? As always, I don't decide that. That is something that is decided by the viewers, and the funders, and the people who make sure that I can continue to do things like pay bills and eat food. However, there is a Total War Warhammer 3 run on the list, but I don't believe it's particularly well funded at the moment. I could be wrong. I don't have it in front of me. So, this is Hoth. This is Hoth. This is Hoth. Look at my camera. You can tell just by looking at me the difference. Here, let me really make this clear. Watch my webcam for a second, okay? Look at me down here, all right? Now, watch me get rid of Hoth for a second. Did you see that difference? Do you see this difference? Now let me pull Hoth back up again. Look at this. Look at this. Just... Oh my god, Hoth! So, let's get this out of the way. I actually rather like Hoth, narratively speaking. But this is Hoth. This is at least a negative to gameplay. Honestly, I could hear it argued that this requires more than one. So, now that you can see what we've been talking about, I open up the floor for discussion. Because this is a negative, period. The question is how many negatives this is. Now, if you'll excuse me... This is Hoth music, by the way. For the duration, I'm going to shield my eyes here just a little bit. There you go. Oh my god, you can see Hoth in my glasses. You can see it in my shades. Also, Hoth is kind of has the Tatooine problem. You know, this is kind of Hoth. It's a very large zone, and it's just this. Hi, Jay Palmer. Shades warning. This is so much worse than Ilmag. Look at this. Look at this. Hang on, let me zoom in a little bit. Right here. Can you see my character model in the shades? You can! Check it out! Still getting a little chop. Hey, Lunaruth. Glare warning. I'm not sure. I'm not wearing the shades for fun. Is it up? I think it's across. Yeah, it's across. Yeah, of course I am. It's been on the books for, like, 4 months or something like that, Linnea Ruth. But yes, we are reviewing Tor. I'd say we're well on our way, but, I mean, it's Tor. We're going to be here in a minute. We're on day 3. We started Monday. See you around, Cord. Don't blame you. Anybody want... Oh, I just missed the fact that there was... A quest objective there. Oh, Jesus. This might actually be bad. I'm probably dead. Donus. Have a good one. That is actually a spoiler, Linnea Ruth, but the answer to that question is Soma. This is the second time I have died, Jay Palmer. The first time was getting through that base earlier, so this is the first real death. Thank you. Okay, there we go. As long as it's acknowledging it's there. Time to grind. Which, I mean, hit another experience booster. But yeah, this is going to be an ongoing problem. This is a good time as any to mention that the difficulty curve in this game is bad. It's hard to properly explain, but the long and the short of it is that the game really doesn't know how to properly scale up difficulty of mobs. So they just kind of start having much more health, much more damage, and much more quantity of mobs. And that just gets worse every planet we do, up to and including Corellia. It was a problem we had the last 2 times we streamed Tor as well, if you'll remember. Corellia on, I think it was actually Trooper, was such a slog, it completely changed how we did that particular stream going forwards. Now, back in the day, this wasn't as much of an issue, it was just slow and boring. Nowadays, it's actually dangerous. You're probably thinking, but why, Lore? And I don't know why the Grand Nagus keeps asking me these questions. But the answer is because, remember, they've screwed with which abilities we get at which levels. That means we don't have all the abilities we probably should at this level. And by we, I mean I. They're fine, because they're like, you know, level 1 billion. But you get my point. I am devoid of several abilities I probably should have at this point. Hell, I only have 2 combos in my setup right now, and one of them is proc-based. The other one's a cooldown, by the way. I might actually pull the trigger and switch to tank spec at this point. Mario and Luigi, no question. Or Shogun, no question. Alright. Right. Let me get the actual cold playlist going since we're done listening to Hot's music. Random. There we go. Civ 6. No question. Yeah, I heard about that, Linnea Ruth. I'm sorry you're dealing with that nonsense. Again. I'm gonna have to just conquer the entire quadrant over there at some point, aren't I? Just so I can get you a better computer. Let's move in with the troops. Oh, tell me about Illuminator. Halo 3, no question. Why would you want to replay Halo 3? That's just insanity. Actually, they're not working the way they should, Jay Palmer, and I keep meaning to ask about that. Like, I don't know what they did to Heroic Moments. They did something to Heroic Moments, and I'm not sure what. Oh, you know what? I think I know. I think I know what's happening. I need to have my companion out for Heroic Moment, don't I? Oh, nice, Disco. I hope you like it. You're damn right I would, Linnea Ruth. I might burn all the oil while I'm there. But the main goal, get you a frickin' computer. Yes, I do, Latario. I've already jotted down one as a potential, which might blossom out into more than one, eventually. I've only beaten Halo 3 twice at this point. There'll be a third time at some point. That'll be the last one, though. Seriously, remind me next time we get to town, I'm gonna go ahead and switch to tank full time. Because, I think being a deeps is just not cutting it at this point. Let me go ahead and get,
Yes, sir.
Miss Dorn out there.
Hold still.
Yes, ma'am. Jeez. Captain, please stand by. Yoon will remove the security door from your path momentarily.
I'll hold this position until you get the door open.
No obstacle stands long in the path of knowledge. Yoon assures you the way will open shortly. Captain, Yoon has discovered an alarm has been raised and troops are being summoned to the location of Yoon's team. The Imperials' numbers are too great. Yoon's team will surely be slain unless Havoc Saw intercepts these enemies in their barracks.
I'll hit the barracks and stop the imps immediately.
Yoon humbly thanks you for your help. Harmonious actions usher victory and truth ever closer. I already like Yoon better than Vic, I'm just saying. Even though he's an insect. It's a hard sell, but, you know, here we are. Wow, I just got interrupted out of my heroic moment. What's the cooldown on that? 6 minutes. Jesus. That is one of its selling points, Linnea Ruth. No, I have not, Litario. Ignoring the obvious fact that I'm not really doing movie ruminations in general anymore, there's also the fact that I haven't seen the movie in question. Oh, there they are. Okay, real talk, it's actually kind of hard to see in these things. They are very, high-quality shades there for when it is blinding out. So I think I'll just live with being blind for a minute. What do we got here? So we got Force Choke, Sticky Grenade, the Lightning, of course, the Flamethrower, of course, the Orbital Strike, of course. Excellent. Excellent. Ooh. So let's try a couple of these. Oh, don't worry, I'm not looting anything. I've basically not been looting the whole playthrough. Life, time, and business, respect, not necessarily in that order, Litario. The only way to do an orbital strike is from underground. Oh, yep, and then we're out.
Let me help you.
Alright, I need to change your spec. The tank. Thank you. Orbital Strike Plus. I like it. Captain Yoon wishes to thank you for protecting the life of Yoon's teams, but also to warn you. Turrets defend the halls you approach. A powerful force field lies beyond them, impassable and impenetrable to weapons. The force field cannot be disabled remotely, but its structure is familiar to Yoon. Several nearby control panels can be accessed and connections severed to allow passage.
Fully understood.
Yoon only wishes that more can be done to clear your path to the knowledge we seek. Also, Tor has faced some issues several times in its career, including right now, but I don't think they're in threat of being shut down at the moment. They're definitely in threat of getting shut down, getting worse right now. What the heck is a Gizmondo disco? Either way, that. Whatever it is. I gotta have it. It just occurred to me. There's a lot of animations you'll see over and over on certain classes. Like the typical on most of the saber wielders, or, you know, the slice I keep doing, this thing. But my personal favorite, and you're going to see it a whole lot, is me kicking people in the balls. It's going to be a very common one. In the Star Wars rewrite, Latario? No, absolutely not. In the actual canon? I'm pretty sure if the writers wanted that to happen, it would. Now to continue to not loot. I don't recall, Damashi. I guess we'll find out soonish. Depends on how long it takes us to slog through this stuff. Yeah, one of the things I did earlier, I don't know if you even just caught this, Malachor, I was checking my inventory to see if I had a med pack on me, which I did not.
There are 2 wires in the maintenance panel, Yoon. One red, one blue. Which should I cut?
Red wire suggests danger, threat, even anger, but it sits serene. Its placement demonstrates calm and peace. Blue wire represents an appearance of cool serenity, but its placement is askew. Its twists and turns betray its evil nature. Yoon believes the blue wire gives the force field its deadly resolve. Sever it! Your journey can continue in safety.
Cutting the blue wire now.
No, I'm going to switch to tank, and then we'll switch Alara around a little bit. We'll see how that works out.
Thanks for the assist, Sergeant.
Yeah, exactly, Latario. If a writer decides it happens, it happens. I don't mean that to sound dismissive, except I totally do. And screw them. Good questions. Unit slicing into database. Look, the Imperial troops just standing in the background. List of all Imperial warships and where they met their end on Hoth's surface. We must regroup and meditate on this newfound knowledge. The squad will meet you at nearby Republic outpost.
I'll be along shortly, Sergeant.
You got it. Get the hell out of here. Yeah, Yun's alright. Yun's alright. Yeah, the soldier's like, nope, we're good here. That Republic commando isn't paying attention to us, and you know what? We're okay with that. I don't need more specifics. What do you mean, Star Wars? I mean, most of the indoor quest areas aren't really designed in any strictest sense of the word. They're just kind of there. I mean, let's actually look at this analytically for a second. Corridor, side path, winding corridor, that's it. That is the whole totality of it from a gameplay perspective. They made sure to place lots of enemies on corners, or what they would do, and Tor likes to do this, they'll have a single pack of mobs, all of whom share aggro. So if you aggro one, you aggro all. And then what they will do is they'll put like one over there, and one over there, and one over there, so that no matter what you do, you actually have to encounter at least one of them. Okay, it's ridiculous. Let's do this. Can I? No. Well, I think this might actually be fastest to just go from here, so... Whatever, I suppose. As much as I very much don't want to do heroics, we can save that as our backup option. Part of what I'm worried about is we have done some planetary quests, secondary quests on this very character. What about all the other characters where we will not be doing any of them? As horrific as it sounds, I kind of wish we could just buy some levels. Not buy, that's actually the wrong word. So Guild Wars 2 has this thing called, I forget what it's called. And what it is, it's an item. And you use it, and you gain a level. It's extraordinarily useful. And that would be kind of ideal in a situation like this. Because last I checked, the purchase levels option here is purchase level 70, which, like in FF14, actually nukes the ability to do the previous quests. And unlike FF14, there's no New Game Plus for quests, so those quests would be locked down and we couldn't do them. Could be wrong about that.
That was incredible. I can't believe we pulled it off.
All ends can be reached if the proper path is followed, Sejin. One need only be wise and shrewd enough to see it.
You and your team should be very proud of your performance, Sergeant.
Yun is honored by your praise, Captain. With Havoc Squad's help, we have walked a path we never could have walked. Yun has meditated on the recovered data and determined the wrecks likely to bear Umbra encryptor parts, but Yun also discovered this.
This is Major Artano, Information Control Specialist for General Racton's command group. Republic personnel are searching Imperial shipwrecks on Hoth. This cannot continue. Full security details will be posted at all crash sites immediately. I'm en route to Hoth now. Any questions about General Racton's orders may be addressed to me upon arrival. Glory to the Empire.
Who's this General Racton?
General Racton is the Empire's top field commander and campaign planner. Supposedly, he's never been beaten.
What do we do now, sir? The Empire knows we're coming.
If the Empire puts up guards, then we fight through them, soldier.
Yes, sir. Captain, sir.
Yun believes we can turn this situation to our advantage. Many sites to be guarded have no Umbra components at all. If Havoc Squad attacks one of the useless sites, guards drawn away from the others, thinking Yoon Squad to acquire Umbra components elsewhere.
Just pick a crash site and we'll move out.
A nearby cave is guarded by the Empire. Assaulting it should draw much attention from our enemies. Here, Captain, take these detonators. If Imperial forces become too much, you can collapse the cave and escape.
Let's make it happen, Sergeant.
Yoon's team will finish reloading and depart immediately. Journey safely, Captain. Either way, I do plan to not actually spend any level boosts on Bounty Hunter, because it'll be a good way to test the leveling curve. See where it's at nowadays, because it's changed a few times as I played this game. Like, back in the day, you had to not only do everything in order to level, you had to do renewable stuff. Like, I actually mentioned that. You remember when you had to go do PvP stuff to level? Because you ran out of sources of experience? Never mind, like, the daily stuff they added in later. Specifically to help people get more experience. Oh yeah, you also had to gear up your companions, otherwise they were completely useless. You like being blinded, right? Right? Correct, Lunarith. Don't worry, you don't have to anymore, but you did used to. I'd say had to. PvPing was one of the sources of experience. But yeah, there's several times I've played through Tor where I've been riding the orange curve. And 1 or 2 times when I was riding the red curve. By the way, please remember that we are a subscriber account, which means not only are we getting rest state and more experience than otherwise, but we've been burning these experience boosts pretty regularly, which, by the way, we get just from doing quests. So we don't have to really buy these. Someone suggested that earlier. We could just use the ones the game throws at us. Oh yeah, Trooper will drag worse when we get to the end. Wait until we get to Corellia. Oh man, you think this is bad. Oh, I forgot to change specs. Someone remind me when we're done with this cave to change specs, please. Who's ready to do even less damage? I think I'm actually going to turn her to a full healer. Especially since I plan to tank. So let's do that real quick. Or I'm in combat with something. Switch over to heal. There we go. Good afternoon, Evo. Evo asks a question. Aside from my sister challenging me in writing styles, what made me decide to do the Diablo rewrite? So believe it or not, a lot of different reasons. First of all, a Diablo rewrite will be substantially less intensive than virtually anything else I could consider doing. So it'll be a good thing to cut our teeth on. It'll also be a way to challenge ourselves to do different ways of visual and audio presentation. We know the overall format we're doing for the Trek rewrite, but we can experiment with new forms of presenting the rewrites with Diablo. Similarly, another thing we could do is try to, well, I can do. I want to challenge myself to write different types of things. The Diablo rewrite, so far, doesn't contain a particular large amount of politics, and it doesn't contain a particular large amount of, you know, my usual stuff. It's a little bit more mystical focused. There's not even any planets in it. You know, that kind of thing. It's trying to be more of a straight fantasy, which is something I'm not used to writing. Finally, capturing footage from the Diablo rewrite will actually be relatively easy to do because we have access to not only Diablo 1, Diablo 2, and Diablo 3 to simply capture footage from, but We also have someone who can write, and by write, I mean draw. Where is this goddamn thing? Oh, there it is. Ugh. I was just running my mouse around. It was like, no. Anyways, we have someone who can do these sketches, which we can do to emulate the style of visual presentation for certain scenes. In short, it's kind of like doing the Paper Mario 2 theater. It just fits the format so well, it's kind of a mandatory thing in order to, you know, again, cut the teeth. I am currently using a Balmoran Battler. I believe this qualifies as a light repeater, though, in terms of qualification or classification. Real Star Wars SMG.
Your attempt to steal Imperial property has been detected, and reinforcements called from all nearby positions. Drop your weapons and enter Imperial custody, or face termination.
The more imps you send, the more I get to kill.
Ha! Bloodthirsty grandstanding. You had your chance. Now be crushed by the might of the Empire.
Where did you come from? There's nothing. There's just solid ice. How did you? Okay. That reminds me, Linnea Ruth. I think something's up with your pop filter, because I was going through some of your lines for the backup options, and your voice acting was popping a lot, like a lot of peaks. And I know it didn't used to do that, so I'm not sure what changed, so I just thought I'd mention it. Don't know if it was just that day, or maybe you took it off, or maybe it's a different mic, or something. Something like that, Evo. Well, I don't know what that is, Star Wars, so I'm afraid the answer to your question is no. Look at all this loot! Look at it all! Look at it all! Captain, diversion has succeeded. Yoon's team has discovered much promising things. Yoon, please, detonators are of assistance. Please contact Yoon from 10th Outpost. I think adaptive gear scales better too, but I don't remember how to get adaptive gear. If only people in chat could tell me how to get adaptive gear, then and only then would I be capable of keeping up in terms of gear. Alas, it is truly impossible. Nobody in chat knows how adaptive gear works anymore. No one! What's it cost? Or I guess, which currency does it cost is probably a better question. Back to dungeon design. Look, it's just a corridor. It's literally a corridor. It winds, but it's a corridor, and that's it. No, it's all fine, Linerith. I was looking for some options, and then Blue Wind popped in, and she said she can do the roll, so it's no problem. And I'm literally only missing 2 rolls, not counting anything I missed right now. I've been doing the polishing pass. I don't know if I've said that yet. I do have like 600 cartel coins, but I'm kind of holding on to those in case I need them. See you around, Datacron Guide. My biggest worry about Tor is that it's going to get worse, not that it's going to go away. That's part of why I shoved this particular run up before... well, before a Neverwinter is pulled on it, to be blunt about it. 20,000 cartel coins. That's a lot. I'm also... okay. Like 20,000 cartel coins. That's $200. I mean, you've done a lot of work today. Speaking of which, if I haven't said it lately, thank you for your efforts, Mr. Red. Getting through the story stuff alone is going to be quite helpful. I am hopeful to actually have some time sometime today to actually go and put in the numbers for that. I know what you're thinking. I don't know what... Get out of here! I don't have your beetle stuff. I'm still having sleeping issues. Like I said, I got woken up quite early today. And then I went ahead and started working on the theater. Like I said, I'm doing the polishing pass right now. Okay, so Neverwinter used to be a good game, Lunaruth, that had a lot of... Notice I say good, not great, not exceptional, not amazing, merely good. But it had a lot of potential, and it was pretty decent. And then it got worse, and then it got worse, and then it got worse. It would actually legitimately take me so long to summarize what has gone wrong with Neverwinter that I'm asking you to just trust me on this one. It got bad, yo. Captain Yoon congratulates you on your success to complete the reconstruction. Signs lead to 2 caves in this region. To speed our hunt's conclusion, Corporal Sajin has led a team to the supplies. Can you assist him? Yes, I'll assist him. That's good. Premonitions of danger lurk.
Keep my eyes open, Sergeant.
Correct, Cashel. Yoon will proceed to the second cable. You'll meet Sajin. Yeah, it's true. Josh Strife Hayes actually did a whole video about how bad Neverwinter's gotten. Now, what's really sad is he also did a summary. In fact, how long is that? Let me pull it up really quick here. I disagree with Josh Strife Hayes on a lot of stuff, but he's legit. Thank you, Jay Palmer. Thank you. Let's see. His video, which is a summary of the problems with Neverwinter, is 36 minutes long. And that says all I feel it really needs to. Oh my god, Gigapudding, no! You were the chosen one, Gigapudding. Your death will not be avenged. I will become a tank. Like my Jedi before me. So let's switch over here. I can't... Okay, can I switch here? Nope, this does not get... Where's the frickin'... Hey, the Count. That's it. It's time to kill the Count.
Stay sharp. Yes, sir.
Seriously? Okay. Is it at least group, or account, rather? The rest thing? If it's not, then screw that nonsense. Does not look like it's group. I think it's character. Field respec. It's 200,000 credits per character. Listen, I don't have that kind of money, so here. Here it is. Ham. Let's switch up to tank. Oh, give me a sec. I have to actually read these. That should do for now. Okay. I'd rather avoid capes if I can. I actually rather like capes in this game. But what I do not like is the fact that capes like to glitch through your character model rather frequently, so preference avoidance of capes. No capes! Now, I need someone to go execute the count for me really quick, if you would, please. For high treason. Oh yeah, there are cinematics. Are they in the game, Giga? Real question. Because I don't actually have an answer to that question. Like, WoWs are in-game and FF14s are in-game, but Guild Wars 2s are not, for example. STOs are. Well, like 2 of them. Yeah. You know what? Actually, yeah. I'll watch the cinematics off camera. Because you're right, they will be super copy-wronged. I remember that because we actually had that issue with the first stream we did 2 streams ago. Yeah. Let's see here. So, questions. Latario asks, if you were a Jedi or Sith, what's your preferred lightsaber form? Whatever Vapad is. I don't remember off the top of my head. Oh, jeez. Yep. Worth it! Well, that sucks. It's not evil, it's very aggressive. Also, whatever the momentum form is, I actually don't remember off the top of my head because I remember most of the forms off the top of my head. Why is the question bot not catching questions? What are you doing? Oh, that's why. That's strange. Let's just do this. There we go. This is Final Fantasy VIII music, Cashel. Close. Anyways, an example in this or other Star Wars games of Darkseid being the moral option. Yes, actually pretty often. In this game. We've literally already taken some Darkseid options because those were the moral choices to make. I'm going wrong. No, I'm going the right way. I need to go down. I'm right. No. No. This is dungeon design in Tor in a nutshell. Here's a big empty, just corridor with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just 12 enemies just waiting for us. Just waiting for us. Hey, Dr. Winter. Tell you what. Make you a deal. All these people will die. Because all these people are the ones who made your day at work miserable. I literally just answered that, Lucario. Like 20 seconds ago. Question bot still isn't capturing questions, though. What the hell? No, that actually makes perfect sense to me, Evo. In fact, I would encourage you to skeleton a little bit. Based on what you're doing right now.
Captain, sir, they're everywhere. Sir, they're all over us. You have to warn Sergeant Yoon.
The enemy is neutralized, Corporal.
Neutralized enemy. Oh, good. It was pirates. grimy, murdering pirates. They knew what we were after. Their leader grabbed the Umbra part and ran.
Do you know where the pirates are based? Who their leader is?
All I heard them say was that they needed the Umbra parts. Please, sir, you have to warn Sergeant Yoon. The pirates will be gunning for him next.
Yoon needs to know what's heading his way.
Trust me, I've covered first drafts, Evo.
Sergeant Yoon, come in. Sajin's team was ambushed by pirates. The Umbra component was stolen. More pirates are headed for your position. Over.
Yoon acknowledges. Precautions taken. What is the status of Sajin's team?
Two men were dead on arrival, and Sajin won't survive his wounds.
Yoon acknowledges. Please tell Sajin his fellows have served with honor. Yoon must see defensive messages.
Thank you, sir. I had to be sure. Had to warn him.
Yoon wanted you to know that you served with honor, Sajin.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stand by.
Vapod was my answer. Or Vapad, or Vapad, or however you say that. Anyways, Evo, not only have I read first drafts, I have written them, but I've also analyzed them, and oh my god, they're terrible. God, they're just the worst. Ugh. I'm being a little facetious. What really irritates me is when first drafts become final drafts. Although I guess that's a little bit of a hair splitting. It's probably more accurate to say that second or third drafts usually get into final drafts. A true first draft is usually a total mess, barely legible as actually being a script. Second and third drafts is when you've gone through and made it sound like at least that's actually, words on a page. Still terrible, terrible dialogue with terrible, terrible flow and sequencing and sentence structure and everything. But, it's words as opposed to... Yeah, exactly, Space Cadet. So I am being facetious, and if you've ever heard me say first draft before, what I really mean is second or third draft. A true first draft is something you probably have never seen. Now, I actually have. I actually demonstrated this to Mr. Red, I believe, recently. A first draft is... little ship escaping big ship. Emphasize disparity. Make sure you can see the faces of the light troops. Big bad guy shows up. Crushes them. Interrogates and kills people by sheer height, emphasizing power. Like, you get it, right? Like, I'm just trying to go through A New Hope in my head. But that is a first draft. Yeah, an outline is a good word for that. And again, I've written first drafts. In fact, right now, the Diablo rewrite is in first draft format. Hey, Valerian. Although, if anybody wants to help me solve a problem with the Diablo rewrite... then that would take a lot of explanation. Never mind, let's not go into that. I mean, we've got all this stuff to discuss with Tor. So anyways. Well, you don't need to know anything about Diablo. That's kind of the point. Give your timely warning. Yoon fears to imagine what might have happened without your help.
We're soldiers. We look out for each other.
Yoon is honored to share brotherhood with one like you. The pirates' interest in the Umbra Encryptor is troubling. Unit thought only the Republic would seek this
I found
knowledge.
something, sir. It's a recording one of the pirates was carrying. Let's see here.
Got a chance at serious credits on this one. If you fail me in this, I'll hang your hides on my walls. Leave no witnesses. Grab the Umbra parts at these coordinates, and don't come back to the Star of Coruscant without them. Got it?
What's the Star of Coruscant?
Old Republic Super Dreadnought, lying broken on Hoth's surface, pirate stronghold, guarded by an army of murderers and thieves. The last Umbra component is there. You must do this with us!
I'll get the last component, no matter what the opposition.
Your bravery is truly unsurpassed. Will you acquire the last piece, Yoon will assemble the rest. Please meet Yoon at Auric Base when your hunt is complete. Good journey, sir. I've never heard that theory, Lataria, but it wouldn't surprise me. Then again, I'm one of those people who firmly believes that Palpatine was not being beaten by Windu. Well, Cathar are cats and Bothans are gross. Do I think the galaxy will ever know peace? Not as long as the Force is in it. And I mean that. So, do you mind if I talk about Diablo for a second? Y'all turkeys. I'll give you the really, really brief version. So I want you to picture a box, okay? This box consists of 8 corners. So we've got... 4 corners. I don't know. 8 corners? Seriously, Laura. 4, we'll go with 4 cardinals. So we've got, let's see, that would be order, good. No, hang on. No, yeah, order, good, chaos, and evil, okay? These 4 things actually generate all of reality, all right? So these primal forces, it's kind of like the edge of a black hole. The closer you get, the more distorted everything becomes. But things can, unlike a black hole, things can actually, and do, emerge from these extremes. At the 2 corners of good and evil and... good and order and chaos and evil, we have these realms which have sort of naturally formed out of the substance and energies of those 2 forces. The high heavens and the burning hells. Now, each, from these 2 apex points, a huge number of creatures, individuals, plants, animals, and general sentience and sapience has been birthed from these primal forces. Now, each angel that is birthed has a percentage of it that is constructed of order, and a percentage of it that is constructed of good. The same is true for the devils and the demons. They have a percentage of evil and a percentage of chaos. They all have both, but in some cases it can go to super extremes. Like, to give a direct example, someone like Imperius would be someone who is, say, 99% order and 1% good. Make sense? So, I love how Dr. Winter jumped on the exact example I was just using there. Anyways, so that's the nature of the cosmos. Now, the 2 primary planes which dominate the whole rest of reality, the hells and the heavens, every now and again there's another plane of existence that kind of is birthed from some combination of the 4 forces. Usually an imperfect match or an imperfect combination of 2 or 3, occasionally 4. So if you're to, again, think about this cube, there's like a little area that just kind of pops up over here, and an area that just kind of pops up over here, and so forth and so on. Now, what will happen is, because these realms inevitably are connected to one of the 2 primary realms, heaven and hell, what will happen is the demons and the angels will go to war in order to try and claim that particular realm. You might think, well, how does that work? Well, let's just say that, let's use demons as an example. Let's say demons swarm a really evil place like, say, on Earth. And they swarm over Earth and they make people sacrifice and do blood killings and just horrible, evil, terrible Death Doom stuff, right? And so all the people of that planet are either killed or fall in line with those evil ways. Because so many of the people, so much of the energy of that plane drifts more towards chaos and towards evil, that plane itself will, I want to say physically, but that's not the right word. In terms of planar cosmology, will drift more and more towards the hells, and will eventually actually drift into hell, physically connect with the plane of hell, and actually expand the plane of hell, okay? So as they do this stuff, those territories actually get larger. Sense make? So both hell and heaven have been eating other realms as they are birthed for however many years. It doesn't actually matter. I haven't even thought about it. Now, you can already kind of probably see where this is going, but at one point in time, there's this new realm that is birthed out of the four elements, out of the four essences of reality. And that is right in the middle. Dead smack, perfectly balanced of all four forces. So it kind of, it's not so much as it doesn't follow the rules, so much as it actually follows all the rules simultaneously. A lot of things are possible there, and a lot of things work differently than they would elsewhere there. Onto this planet are combination things. Combination creatures, species, people, animals, plants, etc. Okay? This is some of the stuff I want Evo to sketch out. Anyways. After a while, this woman named Lilith, who is a demon who serves a lesser-known, a schemer of no importance or power called Mephisto. Now, Lilith finds this place first, and she has fun there. She's bored, and she honestly just is kind of tired of the eternal conflict and doesn't find anything enjoyable about it. I've already asked you to draw stuff, Evo. I just haven't given you details yet. I've already talked about this. Remember, we are not discussing the lore of Diablo. We are discussing the rewrite of Diablo. As a fresh reminder. Ding. So, Lilith finds the place. And she's like, hey! Oh, thank God, someplace new. Lilith, by the way, is very chaotic and not very evil. So, primarily chaos of the two. So she has her fun for a while. You know, just screws around, messes with people. Tries some new food. Kills a bunch of people, you know, goes hunting. Paints, you know, just has some fun. She's like, perfect! But at some point, I probably should report into my lord, because he's probably... Or her superior, excuse me, he's not a lord yet. Because he's probably wondering where the hell I am. So she eventually reports into Mephisto. Now, Mephisto is very evil and not very chaotic. So he looks at this place like... Huh. So Mephisto travels to this new plane. While he's there, he discovers a couple of unique factoids about this. By the way, I don't actually know Darksiders lore, so no, none of this is based on Darksiders lore, even unintentionally. Because I don't actually know it. Sorry. So he's just like... Okay. To be continued, I suppose. Mephisto goes to the plane. To be continued. Oh, never mind. I thought that was a cutscene. Okay, anyways. There's two unique things about this place. One is that due to their nature as being balanced, they have the ability to filter magic. What I mean by that is all magic consists of some percentage of those four forces. But these people on this planet could actually take some of that magic and filter out the good, evil, chaos, and or order in order to change it into some other type of magic. And yes, before you ask, that also means they could make truly raw magic, which has no actual force in it whatsoever. So, that's cool. The other thing he discovers is that as a result of their balance, they can do things that neither angels nor demons can, like make artifacts. Now, when I say artifacts, I mean like the big stuff, right? I'm not talking about enchanting a little thing that can stand in one place or, you know, making it so that a spigot spewts out water. I'm talking about artifacts. So Mephisto thinks, okay, I want you... And so Mephisto kind of gets a little bit of a following in this one little... I actually forget the name of the place, but in this one city, kind of gets several of these people working for him and says, all right, so I want you to make me 3 extremely powerful artifacts. It's going to take several years. It's going to take a lot of work and effort, and we're going to have to sacrifice thousands of lives for the energy to make this happen. But I want you to make artifacts that embody concepts that we can then imbue into ourselves so that we then have the power of those concepts. Mephisto brings 2 of his allies on board, Diablo and Baal. You probably already see where this is going. The sacrifices happen, lots of people die, everything's going to hell, and eventually, no, Jay Palmer, not in the actual canon nor in the rewrite. There's actually, in fact, in the rewrite, this isn't even a planet, it is a plane, which is why I keep referring to it as such. So anyways, Mephisto, Diablo, and Baal, they all take upon themselves these particular essences. Mephisto wants the power to manipulate and control his enemies, so he takes hatred. Diablo wants the ability to subvert and reduce his enemies. He takes terror. And Baal wants the ability to absolutely obliterate his enemies, so they can no longer stand before them at all. He takes destruction. The 3 decide to go ahead and go back to the Burning Hells, and they start fighting against the 4 rulers of Hell, the 4 lords, which I haven't really talked about yet, but that would be Asmodan, Belial, Andariel, and Duriel. So, big old civil war starts happening back in Hell. Meanwhile, there's all this evil crap going on in this place, and it's just like, what is all this stuff? And so it draws the attention of an angel named Inarius. Now, there's actually, one of the first questions I have is I actually need another angel involved here. I'm thinking Malthael, but I haven't actually decided yet. But Inarius and Blank go to this place, and I'm like, what the hell? Oh my god! Everything's horrible and evil! To be continued. God damn it, I keep thinking there's gonna be cutscenes. Die! Die for not giving me a cutscene! Correct, Space Cadet. I actually skipped a step. That's my bad. No, it's what the hell. So I did skip a step. I apologize. So, so the angels actually don't notice what's going on at first. What happens is a human, specifically a human of the various sentient species, says, "What are you doing?" Well, we're sacrificing people and brutally murdering and all sorts of evil stuff. And it's like, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. The dude walks around and he starts traveling the city, preaching a simple message. So, his message actually spreads quite a bit. And the Zakarum faith is born out of the simple concept of be nice to one another, be good to one another. That actually starts to really get some sway, and I think I'm finally going to have a cutscene here. So it's like a boss arena. Yeah, be cool. Be cool. This is it. I can feel it. It's going to be a cutscene. It's still not a cutscene. So this message and this faith spreads, and what happens is the plane starts to shift a little bit back towards order. Back towards good, actually. Sorry, not order. Not order. Towards good. That gets the attention of Inarius and the other angel. That's when Inarius and the other angels show up, and they're like, oh, hey. Oh my gosh. Yes, I am, Mario. Wow, okay. You can do all this cool stuff, dudes! So, Inarius decides to get involved, and whoever it is, again, the other angel, Angel B, this is how I write in first draft, Angel B gets involved. They start arming several of the people there and getting them a little bit more organized, getting them a little bit more militant. You can probably tell where that's going to go. And as a consequence, forms a group called the Haradrim. Now, the Haradrim, they're all very powerful mages and are all personally taught in a lot of what they do by several of the angels. But there's a caveat. So Lilith is still there. Now, hang on. It actually gets worse than that. So Inarius puts forth... Bob puts forth a vote. Bob says, all right, hold on. What do we do with these people? Because we could just try to conquer and subsume them like normal, but I think we have a unique opportunity here to do something different. If we conquer and consume this place, it will lose its unique nature, and then we will lose a powerful weapon against the enemy. So the host of heaven has a big debate about this. While the leadership of heaven is having a debate about this, Imperius, on his own initiative, says, oh, dude, this is great. Oh, this plane is so connected to hell while being connected to heaven. This is a highway. He marches his entire army through this place, pushes through to the end of it, forms the Pandemonium Fortress, and starts charging into hell, full tilt. Now, there's a couple other caveats here. First of all, what they decide to do without Imperius is they decide to go ahead and erect a very, very powerful barrier which will effectively block half of reality from this place. In other words, they're going to make it so that hell cannot physically interact with or walk onto this new plane. This is when the name comes in. They finally call this place Sanctuary because the whole point is this will be a sanctuary for life, separate and away from hell, right? So what they do is they go ahead and pull this giant chunk of extremely powerful angelic crystal and imbue it with all that artifact, yes, that means lots of sacrifices, from humans in order to craft the World Stone. The World Stone builds this barrier, and now it is separated from hell. But hang on, I'm skipping ahead a little bit. So let's rewind a second to Imperius. Imperius is smashing through hell with a gigantic angel army. Hell is currently going through a massive civil war. Most of the demons have been content to fight that civil war because they're demons. They don't care. But they see Inarius coming and it's like, oh god, oh god. So what ends up happening is the civil war sort of abruptly stops, and the overwhelming majority of demonic forces immediately state their loyalty, there's a term for that, re-pledge themselves to the four lords. So the three are banished to Sanctuary as a result of having failed the Civil War, and all of hell is now united against Imperius. Now that happens before the barrier's put up. I'll let that sit in the back of your minds for a minute. So Mephisto, Baal, and Diablo, who are powerful demons, not demon lords, who also have those extremely powerful artifacts imbuing them with concepts, are now stuck on Sanctuary. And now we have a problem. It's okay. We have a potential solution. There's this one human. He's got this great idea. His name's Zoltan Kuhl. And he's like, you know, I've been looking at some of those artifacts, and I've been looking at the World Stone. I've been studying it for the last couple of years. I think we might be able to build something called a Soul Stone. Oh, what's a Soul Stone? Now, there's actually a lot of nuance here I'm not going to bore you with right now because we're already just not playing the game we're in front of. All you need to know right now is that the Soul Stones will form a way... So if a demon dies, they die. That's it. They're gone. No resurrection. No soul going back to the frickin' spine. They're gone. But if they have a Soul Stone, it kind of acts like a phylactery. Keeps their soul, keeps their self within that Soul Stone. Now hang on. There's another actual layer to that, because if you imbue a Soul Stone into a physical body, doesn't matter what it is, but obviously the ideal would be to have some kind of human host, then that physical body will then serve as, let's call it an extra layer of armor on top of that, because all their demonic power will be pushing through the body, so you have to effectively kill them twice in order to be able to actually get to them. Here's the snag. Most of the Horadrim at this point think that putting these into these Soul Stones and then imbuing that into a person will leave the person at the driver's wheel. In other words, if I was to jam this Mephisto's Soulstone into Mr. Red now has all of that massive amounts of demonic power, right? And the two-layer thing I just mentioned. The truth is, it's actually the exact opposite. The moment that stone is jammed into Mr. Red is dead. Erased, actually. And Mephisto is now fully in charge. This is Mephisto's idea, by the way. He has been spreading this misinformation ever since the idea was first posited. So the goal for the three is to successfully convince the Haradrim to make these soul stones, convince them to use them on them, put up a good fight, and then, oh no, I'm defeated. And then, of course, the stone gets jammed into someone else, and they get to play charades for a bit, like, oh, yes, I feel the power of Mephisto, I, Mr. Red, who is me, fellow humans. Okay, obviously I'm memeing, but you get the idea. The point is they want to then infiltrate the leadership of the Haradrim, and do so clandestinely with all this extra power and armor and blah, blah, blah. And see what happened to Giga Pudding? If she hadn't jammed that soulstone into her forehead, that wouldn't have happened to her. There is, of course, there are actually several additional snags here. Part of the problem is because Sanctuary is in the middle, it has the potential for everything. So the Haradrim, who are not angels, start to bicker. There's a little bit of an internecine thing going on. So I won't give you all the details. I've thought of entirely too many. Let me just give you a couple of highlights. So, for example, the guy, I can't think of his name right now, but the guy that gets Mephisto jammed into him, he was a very politically powerful person. And he actually swayed several of the Haradrim to his side to say, you join me, you become a lord in the new fiefdom I will create with all this demonic power. Keep in mind, the human made that deal. And so when Mephisto is jammed into him, Mephisto knows all this, absorbs all that knowledge and information from him, and says, oh yeah, I'll totally keep this deal. Work for me. And now Mephisto is in charge of an entire nation and a cadre of elite mages. Doesn't work quite as well for Baal. So what happens for Baal, I actually remember his name, Tal Rasha. Tal Rasha is doing the same kind of thing. You know, my elite companions here, you know, Trihexia, Dr. Winter, Mr. Red, all of you work for me. I'll take this power and it'll be cool. But instead what happens is they get the stone, they jam it into Tal Rasha, and then the other mages who think that this entire soulstone idea is a terrible idea seal Tal Rasha away, intending to leave him sealed away for all eternity. Have fun, Baal. Now what happens to Diablo is arguably even worse because, well, again, I don't want to go too much into it, but let's just say that there's a reason Diablo ends up just as a stone at the bottom of a cathedral in the middle of some backwater town in the middle of nowhere. And this will eventually lead to the events of Diablo 1. What do you think? I've skipped over a lot of details because, you know, duh. But that's kind of where we're going at right now. Draft 1, as you say.
My, I can't for the life of me figure out what you might be after. I'm Zareen. I take care of targeted acquisitions, let's say. Like that little trinket you came here for, I get the impression that you want it pretty bad.
How do you know about the Umbra Encryptor?
Listening in on people's conversations can teach you all sorts of interesting things, my friend. That piece of junk is worth a lot to you, isn't it? So make me an offer. If it's high enough, maybe you'll walk out of here.
I won't cave into your demands, Zareen.
I should have known there's only one way you'd entertain me. Nice knowing you, pal.
Halt! I am Major Artano of the Imperial Military. Drop your weapons and surrender immediately.
I'm done negotiating.
Take cover! Return fire!
Diablo actually has a fairly in-depth amount of lore. Oh yeah, by the way, that's the other reason to do a Diablo lore run. Excuse me, a Diablo rewrite. I know Diablo lore well enough to do that off the top of my head. Thank you, Huthor. I appreciate your candor. By the way, what do you mean, Oreo, with weak motivations? If you don't mind clarifying. Is this all the way back? It is all the way back. Wow. And no, Evo, I want you to draw plants, animals, people, maybe a vista or two. Probably 3, actually, vistas. And that's all I have in the mind right now. In the mind? Really, lore? So, if you put a demon in a soulstone and then jam the demon in someone, can you put that demon in that person in another soulstone? Yes, but unfortunately it doesn't actually layer that way. Effectively, all you're doing... How do I explain this? I don't know how to explain this with real-life analogy. You would be replacing one soulstone with another. Well, admittedly, the soulstone thing is something I'm still kicking around, Oreo. But the whole overall goal and point is they aren't that powerful demons. Not compared to the actual Lords of Hell, for example. I'll show you exactly what I mean, Evo. And they're trapped on a hostile world where they can die permanently. Their goal with being put into soulstones is so that they can have a way to survive. Their goal with being put into people is so that nobody knows they're there. That's the motivations. I apparently didn't get that across.
Sergeant, our mission is complete.
Which just proves how terrible I am. As Huthor said. Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Havoc Squad could never have done this without you and your team, Sergeant. Imperius is still stuck in hell when the barrier goes up. The Umbra Encryptor return to functionality. Vast knowledge of our enemies can be uncovered with ease. This could change the entire face of the war, Sergeant. You should be proud.
This journey was merely part of Yoon's duty to the Republic, nothing more. Yoon would ask a small favor of you now. Many preparations must be made before Yoon embarks on Havoc Squad's path. Could you do Yoon the honor of formally delivering the Umbra Encryptor to Colonel Pharos, Yoon's former superior?
I would be honored, Sergeant.
It is Yoon who is honored by your indulgence, sir. Once all preparations have been made, Yoon will bring you to board your ship. Thus will a new journey begin. Yes. Yes! Oh yeah, Imperius will love it in hell. And I don't mean that facetiously. That's just a party to Imperius. He'll just have fun there. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the Nephilim. So, I thought very long and hard about what I wanted to do with the Nephilim, if anything. So, I'm not sold on this yet. Looking for some opinions. What I want the Nephilim to be is an organization devoted to changing the status quo founded by Inarius and Lilith. Now, not in what you're thinking about. So someone actually asked an interesting question earlier. I deliberately ignored that question because what they do is Inarius, who is dissatisfied, and Lilith, who's bored, both decide, why don't we let the humans filter us? Remember, humans can filter magic. So they swap them. Inarius becomes lawful evil, Lilith becomes chaotic good. I'm going the wrong way. Plants, animal, and people, Evo. There you go. I want those 3 separate slides. That's the first slide I know I need. It's going to be very early on in the video.
Unit 11 is lagging behind. Maybe Unit 38 could reinforce them.
Colonel, sir. Sergeant Yoon has completed his reconstruction of the Umbra Encryptor, sir.
Ah, that's fantastic. Stand at ease, Captain. Let's have a look.
By all means, Oreo, answer.
It's smaller than I expected. Tough to believe it's so vital. I
Some little
understand
thing.
you worked with Sergeant Yoon quite a bit to help make this happen. What did you think of him? You can speak freely.
Exactly, Evo. I'm glad you're on board.
Sergeant Yoon will be a great credit to Havoc Squad.
I couldn't agree more, Captain. I couldn't agree more. I'd trade any 10 soldiers in my command to keep Yoon around, but I understand he's needed for something much bigger. I don't need to know what insane thing High Command has you up to, but you'll be glad you have Yoon with you. I guarantee it.
Yoon is going to be very helpful in future missions.
That he will. Best of luck in your operation, Captain. You're dismissed.
It's actually funny. We all say this game is fully voice acted, and it is. But at the same time, it's also cheating. Ignoring the... I'll show you a style later, Evo. Ignoring the, Now I've lost my train of thought. Ignoring the repeat dialogue bits, they also have several chunks of alien dialogue, which makes it so that there's entire characters they don't actually have to voice. Oh, sure, they have... But that's like one person speaking maybe 5 bits of dialogue. It's the same thing they did in KOTOR. Here's the catch. My opinion, I think they did a much better job with it in TOR. I don't think it's positive worthy, but I don't think it's negative worthy like it was in both KOTOR and KOTOR 2. Where Gilfa Gowana Gilfa, Bangasha Gilfa, Gilfa Dawanga Gilfa. I think TOR does a much better job at making that sound natural, rather than repeating the same 2 bits of extremely obvious dialogue over and over and over again. So, credit where credit is due.
Captain, I've just been contacted by Colonel Fierros. I understand the operation was a complete success. Breaking the Umbra Code will have far-reaching effects. The Republic has gained an advantage today that could change the course of the entire conflict. Well done.
Sergeant Yoon did the real work, sir.
I'm glad to hear that your new recruit lived up to his reputation. Sergeant Yoon, please step forward.
Sorry.
Sergeant Yoon, it is my pleasure to officially confirm your transfer to Republic Army Special Forces Squad Number 326, codename Havoc Squad.
Yoon is deeply honored to be chosen for this prestigious assignment.
We're glad to have you on the team, Sergeant.
Thank you, sir. Yoon will endeavor to serve well.
With Sergeant Yoon, Havoc Squad is ready to begin the operation against the Gauntlet superweapon. Return to Coruscant immediately, Captain. We have a lot to discuss. Garza out.
Keep getting new guns. I will... You know what? What's funny is I actually kind of have that in real life, Oreo. I think that's just a byproduct of who I am. I've said it before and I've said it again. I tend to get along better in real life with females more than males. That's been true since I was a kid. That's nothing new. I don't know what he thought of Bad Batch, Zactaf, so I can't speak to that. I think he'd like Havoc Squad, though. Anyways, Evo. The drawing, what I want is to have absolutely no special effects or visual filters whatsoever. Quite the contrary, what I want is something distinct enough that I could rip it, digitally, off the page and put it on something else and do all the filtering and the paper myself, if that makes sense. And since you're probably going to see this in the VOD, hopefully, see you around, Malachor. Have a good one. Cashel asks, this might be jumping ahead a bit, but is the retcon of Diablo 1's hero being son of Leoric something we would keep or incorporate or excise entirely? So, exactly, Evo. I haven't actually decided yet. There's some specific details about how we get to the beginning of Diablo 1 that need hammering out. The timeline's a little bit off. In fact, if you're paying attention to the story I just recited, the timeline is off. And that needs massaging. That's why it's a first draft. But hopefully I'll be able to hammer that out at some point in the future. Right now, the theater's taking up most of my spare time right now. Because I am very close to finishing that since we're already in polishing phase. And thank you for the consideration, Oreo. I forgot to say that. My apologies. I work very hard at what I do. Fail miserably, but I fail hard. Mr. Red says, what is the core theme of the extant? People are innately good. Also war and politics. That sheet is not up to date as of today, I think, Dr. Winter. Oh yeah, and space. Gotta have space. Oh yeah, I never told it. So someone was asking how I finally figured out how to get mechs working in the extant. So check this out. I started thinking about it, and with the technologies that I have included, and with the magic that I have included, sorry, just Valerian. It's actually relatively easy to make a mech work. The problem is, why bother? I mean, mechs are cool, but the amount of time and effort and engineering and resources and work and points of failure that are required to make a mech work is actually pretty extensive. So why bother? Why not just make a tank or a battlesuit or something more worthwhile? The answer is, mechs are for sports, not warfare.
Ready and able.
All those issues go away the moment you think about it from that perspective. All that engineering and effort and work to get the mechs functional and working, to get them to be able to operate and function. The spectacle of it. Think about it. And when I say sports, obviously there's some combat sports. There's probably other more sportsy version of sports, you know, objective-based things or competitive versus things, all that kind of stuff.
Captain, come in. You may stand at ease.
I understand you've succeeded in bringing Havoc Squad up to full strength, Captain.
Mission music.
Congratulations.
My squad and I are very proud to be a part of this operation, sir.
I think I speak for everyone when I say we're glad to have Havoc involved. General Garza, why don't you begin?
Certainly. As you know, Captain, the Gauntlet's superweapon allows the Empire to target and destroy any ship traveling through hyperspace. This capability, if put to use, would give the Empire an insurmountable advantage. It also makes an attack on the Gauntlet itself extremely difficult.
Fortunately, the technical data you helped retrieve allowed us to determine a safe approach pattern that will get our forces within striking range.
Can you explain this approach pattern, sir?
We've run the numbers from the Imperial's readouts and determined the Gauntlet's minimum time to acquire and lock onto a target.
Your ship and those of my battle group will approach the Gauntlet by making numerous short hyperjumps, always remaining below the minimum lock-on time.
Short, repeated hyperjumps are very inefficient. Once we're in, our warships won't have enough fuel to return. Total victory will be our only option.
What's my squad's objective once we're in the target area?
When the attack begins, Lieutenant Coria's safecrackers will immediately disable the planetary shield generator that protects the Gauntlet, allowing Havoc Squad to board it.
Once you're aboard, begin the demolition operation. Sergeant Yun will help you bypass the security seals on the weapon's inner core. Specialist Vic will then go into the core with you and plant explosives at key weak points, ensuring the Gauntlet's total destruction.
How should I deploy my other squad members?
During your demolition operations, 2 Havoc Squad members of your choice will assault the Gauntlet's bridge and download all data from the weapon's computers. Unassigned squad members will provide mobile backup to the rest of the team as needed. As soon as your objectives are complete, evacuate the Gauntlet immediately. Understood?
I'll assign the bridge assault team before the attack begins.
We cannot overemphasize the importance of this mission, Captain. The future security of the Galactic Republic hinges on the destruction of this single weapon.
You and your team are no strangers to situations like this. You've faced incredible odds before, and overcome them with skill and determination. If anyone can lead the charge in this battle and see us through to victory, it's Havoc Squad. Your Republic is counting on you. Move out.
For the Republic.
He's so anemic when she says that. Oh, it'll be more than STO. I have no idea compared to FF14, though. Other than the fact that it'll be about a fifth of the time. So normally I'd warp back, but I actually need to let everyone get on my ship, so I'm going to go do that. Dr. Winter asks, could the extant have a real-life-sized Rocket League? Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure about a space station that turns into a ship or whatever. I haven't actually watched Macross. I'm not into anime. But, no, I can't see that as being a thing. Too many moving parts, too many problems. But what I could see is moving Malachor from the group. There we go. What I could see is that in a sports area. Once again. So, yes, sorry, Lunarith, you were the next person I was going to ask. How do people ask questions during cutscenes? Join me, Giga. Wait, Giga's going to sleep. Never mind. Good night, Giga Pudding. Enjoy the pancakes. But yes, that is not, unfortunately, Kate Mulgrew. I didn't really recognize her, unfortunately. Oh, gaming's excellent in the extant. You kidding me? Imagine, just for a moment, the economic model of the extant, but then gaming. And you will know true power. No predatory bull crap. No gambling garbage. If a game is bad, it's bad because the people screwed up. Not because of a rushed deadline. Not because of an asshole executive. Not because of a shareholder meeting. And not because of a desire to try and squeeze money out of innocent people. Oh, and no mobile gaming. Obviously.
Master, I have reprogrammed your vessel's food processor to reduce the crew's caloric intake. Some of them were growing a bit thick.
Well, I was hoping we could get you to voice Andariel, but I'm not sure she has a... Excuse me. They have a line yet. Mobile games that are actual games? Now that's a fantasy. Oh, right. Mission time. Now we get the mission music going. No, we're talking about the extant, Oreo.
Havoc, this is Admiral Newman. Our attack group has exited hyperspace and engaged the Imperial's escort ships. Defensive forces are as expected. Lieutenant Courier reports that the safecrackers have breached the planetary shield generator. You're clear to make your run on the Gauntlet. Good hunting.
Give the Imperials a run for their money, sir.
We'll be in contact if anything develops. Newman out.
Captain, sir. The squad is assembled and ready to receive your battle assignments. Our operation orders require 2 squad members to assault the bridge and collect data there. Resistance will be heavy. As Specialist Vic and Sergeant Yoon already have assignments, available personnel for the bridge assault are myself, Sergeant Jorgen, and M14X. Who do you want to send, sir?
Let's send Jorgen at 4X.
I want maximum firepower on the bridge assault. That means 4X and Jorgen.
Works for me. We'll clear the place out, huh, 4X?
Affirmative, Lieutenant, sir. No Imperial will remain standing in the wake of our heroic assault.
I'll see to our final preparations, sir. Any further words for the squad?
All of you know the mission and the stakes. We'll do this right, and then we go home. Understood?
Sir. Yes, sir.
X is pretty legit. 4X is so legit he's there twice. That's how amazing he is. Do I think the Vita could be revived? No. Well, okay. Anything could happen. But do I think it's even remotely possible the Vita will be revived? No. So, there's no way Sony would ever care enough to bother to put the sheer number of resources and effort into doing so. Oh, god damn it. Really? Okay, fine. Where's he at? There.
Get him!
You're done.
Oh, wow, gray mobs. I haven't seen those in a while. Do I think VR is the future of gaming? Nope. I think gaming hit its future back in, I'd say about 1981, something like that. I'm not saying that facetiously, I should point out. The controller was the invention that gaming needed. And now we have video gaming. And I know what you're thinking, but VR gaming can and often has a controller. Exactly. AR? Eh. AR has its own... This guy has some health. AR has its own place and purpose, but also has severe and strict limitations. Not just because of what it can do, but because of regulation and people in no particular order. Diablo 2 does have voice acting, yes. As does Diablo 1 and Diablo 3.
We will grind the Empire's weapon into dust beneath the heel of liberty.
The worst controller I've ever used? I mean, the Wii controller, but other than that, the NES. There will not be a Diablo Theater. Any questions, Valerian? A mental controller has a lot of other connotations I'd honestly rather not think about. This is one of the points we seek. The first key to the door that seals our great objective. The signs within this terminal's workings are clear to you, Captain. Several others yet remain, all must be disabled for access to the core section.
Let's move out and find the rest.
Let the hunt begin! Yep, Diablo 1 was fully voice acted. It was considered a selling point, even. Where the hell? Whatever. Oh man, I can't wait for my very own holodeck to accept that thing. So, we're getting a little bit into technicalities, Lord Harrowmont, but before the controller, what we had was the really, really, really old computers, which ran, basically board games is the simplest way to put it. And I don't mean board games by today's standards. I mean board games by then standards. So, you know, like checkers and chess and other crap like that. And yes, I know Monopoly's been around a while, but you get my point, right? So you'd have a keyboard, and then every input was part of its own specific thing. Yeah, I'm explaining this so badly. So there was obviously computers. I gotta say it that way because PC didn't exist yet. So there were computers, and those computers, you could just play whatever on as long as you had the box ready to go. But then they started coming up with the idea of the gaming machines. Those also had a keyboard on them, and again, each button was usually for a specific type of function, and usually it was really obtuse and really awkward and really weird. I am very deliberately forgetting Pong. Yes, thank you. So, I'm telling you, we're gonna do that Pong review someday. Yeah, the Magnavox is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. And yes, I did know that, Triaxia. Pong lore run. Boop. 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 But then, I don't know who was first, came out with the idea of simplifying the controls, which also required changing the nature of how they developed games. If you've seen the old Atari controller, before that, You know, its own little kind of chunk, chunk, chunk. And usually there was a button, sometimes 2, sometimes 5, and you would just push those buttons on the joystick-looking thing. But that was the big innovation right there. From that point onwards, figuring out how to improve that controller was the name of the game. And they finally peaked with the insert controller you prefer most. Gaming's the most important game in gaming's development as a medium. Super Mario Brothers. I mean that. It's the cliched answer, but it's the correct one. SMB was a sea change to gaming in a way that it's hard to really explain from a modern perspective. There were a lot of games before Super Mario Brothers, like a lot, like hundreds of games before Super Mario Brothers, and some of them were actually even worth a damn. But Super Mario Brothers just destroyed everything else, introduced literally entire new paradigms in game design, and is almost single-handedly responsible for making gaming come back from the Atari crash. Yeah, me too, Oreo. I mean, obviously, I guess. As I think I've said a few times, Lordad was pretty big into gaming when he was going through college, so I kind of got what he had as a result. Depends on how long the maintenance is, Papa Nicks. I will admit I could use a sleep in, because I'm still kind of sick and I'm still paying catch up on my sleep schedule. But whenever the server comes up is probably when I'm going to start tomorrow's shifts, Papa Nicks. Now, the biggest innovator in computer gaming? I don't think anybody's going to like my answer. Seals withholding the inner core are removed. Operation can proceed.
Couldn't have done it without you, Yoon. Time to contact Vic. Vic, come in. The seals are disabled. Rendezvous at the core access door ASAP. Over.
That ugly bug got you through after all, huh? Heading for the door. Look out.
The answer's Doom. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, hold up. But no, I mean that sincerely. Doom kind of did the same thing to PC gaming that Super Mario Brothers did to console gaming. Doom dragged PC gaming into the light, dragged it into acceptability, spread it in a way that it had effectively never actually interacted with before. Never mind the fact that Doom was, let's be honest with ourselves, brilliantly programmed. Like, it's actually a little shocking how well designed Doom was from a coding perspective. Come on. Are you... Ah! But no, you asked me what I believe is the biggest impact on gaming. There's other games that could be argued to be more personally important, or more important for a specific facet of gaming, or maybe more technically impressive, or more central to developing what gaming became eventually, but biggest overall impact, I'd pick Doom. Oh no, Vic's dead! Oh no, Vic's dead!
There you are. We ready to finish this? Or should I pop out for a drink?
Too bad the imps didn't put a bar on this thing. Could use a break. Sergeant Yoon, rendezvous with Sergeant Dorn, and stay sharp.
Understood. Very well. Do I think Doom 1's a good game? I've never reviewed it, so I have no idea. That's a good question, Lord Harrimont. Truthfully, I don't know. Now, other really, really important games in gaming history. Let's be clear. Wizardry deserves some definite recognition there. I don't think Wizardry was the first, because we've talked about this before. The further back you go, the more technically you have to get with regards to what is the first of a specific genre or concept or whatever. But Wizardry definitely was one of the first games that actually really started pushing the concept of an RPG.
Ready.
Now, I think Wizardry is total garbage, but that's because it's a very much a sand before water kind of a situation. Wizardry laid some of those first few bricks for a lot of other games to follow. The very concept of a JRPG,
yeah, that's the spot.
Pretty much
One
came
down,
out of
Captain.
Wizardry.
Let's hit the rest so we can get back to Coruscant and the many thankful citizens of the Republic.
Keep your mind on the job, Vic.
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, all humans, Uthor. Well, they're dead. Oh, just all of them. No survivors, Uthor. No survivors. Ultima gets some recognition as well, obviously. Pong, if I'm remembering my history correctly, and I might be wrong about this, does get one very important historical credit to it. Can anyone guess what that is? Well, oh. I don't know if I'd call it co-op, but yes, multiplayer. You could play Pong with someone else. Which I know how basic that sounds. But please think about the first video game, which I don't know if it was Pong, but Pong was definitely one of the first video games that you could play with another person. Think about that. That's why I keep adding that asterisk, Pillars of Snow. There's a reason we have a difference between codifiers and innovators. Because the thing that codifies a thing is almost never the first thing to do a thing. Generally speaking, someone else does the idea first, worse, and then someone else comes along and is like, hey, I can do that better. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Dungeons & Dragons, which wasn't even called that originally, is another good example of something that the more you go back into its history, the more, like, interesting it gets. And I'm in combat. Back before
That's
it was called D&D.
We'll be good to go in just a few seconds.
Back when it was a tabletop game, like everything else
Captain,
was.
It's Jorgen. Big trouble up on the bridge. We got the data, but Imperial reinforcements just showed up out of nowhere. A lot more than we can hold off. Are the bombs planted? Can we pull out?
We're done here. Dorn, take Ewan and cover Jorgen and Forex. We'll rendezvous aboard the ship.
Right away, Captain. Let's move, Sergeant.
We'll meet you back aboard the ship, sir. Jorgen out.
See, that's the funny thing, and I don't mean this in any way in an elitist way, it's just funny. Because THACO and AD&D, all that stuff, that came later. So some of you may not know this, but wargaming, that is to say, you know, the stuff that nowadays is covered by things like Warhammer and BattleTech and the like. That was gaming for a really long time. Like, since the 1800s. Wargaming was tabletop gaming. It was, I actually forget what it's called now, which started twisting that idea a little bit into saying, what if rather than playing an entire faction, we just played one person? Now, it was still the wargaming format, and if you look at the original rules of, it wasn't called D&D yet, I keep saying that because I don't remember what it was called, then you'll see it's still built like a wargame. Maybe it was Chainmail. But anyways, yeah, no, it wasn't Chainmail, it was something else. But anyways, it was still built like a wargame. It was still structured like one. It's just you played a person or a squad rather than, you know, an army. And it just kind of developed from there. Hang on, I have to go murder my commander really quick. There we go. I believe you. I swear I'm not making... I'm cribbing on my...
it is a great relief to see you
debris on
in
purpose.
spite of the extensive fighting.
No, Jorgen's dead.
I'm afraid that Jorgen sustained heavy injuries during our retreat from the bridge. Despite my efforts to absorb enemy fire, he refused to give up his portion of the fight. A perfect example of Republic heroism.
Execute him immediately.
Full situation report. What's Jorgen's status?
I've stabilized him for now, sir, but the wounds would certainly have been fatal had Forex not gotten him to me so quickly. Jorgen is lucky to be alive.
You did a good job getting Jorgen out of there.
The Republic does not leave its heroes behind. I did only what duty required.
Could we talk about this later? I need to set those charges off, and we shouldn't be sitting in the hangar bay when I do.
Let's get moving. Double time it.
I mean, I'd be okay with losing Jorgen. I'm cool with that. No, I didn't, Zach. Yeah, that's cool. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. You and Elf was a class. It's funny how that works, Skullbug. Only some of them, Zactap, but yes.
Attack group, this is Havoc. Objective complete. All ships evacuate to minimum safe distance.
We copy, Havoc. All ships are clear. Proceed with the detonation.
Boom.
Do we have to buzz by the ship that's exploding?
Target destroyed. Repeat, the gauntlet has been destroyed. All ships disengage and proceed to Rendezvous 47 for refueling. Havoc, return to General Garza on Coruscant for debrief.
I'll proceed to Coruscant immediately, Admiral.
The Empire's greatest weapon has been destroyed. Congratulations, Havoc. Newman out.
Wait, the Sith Warrior was on that ship? Holy crap. That was underwhelming. That should have been cool. And it wasn't. Is that just me? I mean, I know we were talking about D&D and gaming history during the big epic mission, but there's a reason for that.
I hope you find them comfortable.
Nobody's jokes are as bad as mine, Mike Romano.
So, turns out Red Hand Magarin isn't just an idiot with a chip on his shoulder about that weapons deal I bailed on. He's also an idiot with a lot of bounty hunters on call. He's put a price on my head. I need to take care of it.
Do whatever you need to do, Vic.
Magarin's office is on Nar Shaddaa. I still know a few people there who don't want me dead, so this shouldn't take long. Once Magarin's settled, we'll be good to go again.
I can back you up if you want.
Nah, I've been through this a couple of times before. It'll go faster solo. Thanks, though. Be back later. Hey, boss. Everything's cleared up. No more price on my head. Well, no one to pay it anyway.
I'm glad you're in the clear now.
You and me both. I found some of Magarin's files while I was picking through the wreckage afterward. Figured they might come in handy. I'll let you know if I spot anything interesting.
He works fast, Golva. You don't even know. Oh my god. Whoop. Wrong way. It will be mine, Evo. In the end. Sorry. Yoon would like to express again the sublime honor of joining you in Havoc Squad. It fills Yoon with pride to walk this path of honor at your side and share your search for victory upon which so much depends.
Havoc Squad was lucky to get you, Yoon.
Yoon was brought to this joining by necessity, not probability. Among the Gand, recognition is drawn from achievements like this. Recognition requires specificity. This honor is very great, perhaps great enough, in time, for Yoon to earn a second name amongst the Gand.
Havoc is the place to be for tough challenges and big wins.
Great achievements may lie ahead, or they may not. Yoon's only true concern is to follow the path laid out before him. Your time is appreciated, sir. Yoon would appreciate a few moments alone now to meditate on what is to come. You got it! You want to talk? Repetition of a bat pattern has drawn Yoon's attention. Swirls of dust on the bulkhead, a coil of wires bearing power forward but also back. The twist of these patterns back on themselves leads Yoon to a state of reflection of what is past. Would you share on this reflection? Would you hear how Yoon earned this name?
How'd you come to be called Yoon?
As Yoon explained, the Gand give names as recognitions for achievements. Yoon's achievement was the completion of the Findsman training. The Findsman tradition is ancient. Few have the vision necessary to follow the Findsman ways, and fewer still master them.
I've definitely been impressed with your work.
Yoon is honored to know this, sir. On Gand and elsewhere, Findsmen are employed to hunt criminals, recover missing persons, and find hard-to-locate technology. Yoon proved proficient in these tasks, and the teacher was... Oh my god, and the teachers found Yoon's proclivity for technology innovative. The reward was the title of Findsman and the name of Yoon.
What led you to join the army?
The signs guide Yoon in all things. Our time of reflection is past. Yoon appreciates your sharing of time. Back to Coruscant. And no, Papa Neeks. The overwhelming vote there was for Steve Blum. I have not heard of Empires of the Undergrowth. We actually do have a policy on early access missions. Tired early access games. It's very simple. They're not out until they're out. So we do not stream or review or even consider early access games because they're not out yet. So Dr. Winter asks, which game do you think is the one that pushed the question of are video games art into mainstream? That's a good question.
If you say so.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I'm reading an article by Ebert about why video games aren't art. Not because I have any interest in his thoughts, because he's a raving stupid idiot who's too drunk on his own farts to actually have a coherent thought amongst him. But I am curious what led him to this. There's a lot of words to say that he thinks video games have no soul, which is hysterical. But we do finally have 2 games that are specifically cited as drawing his attention and the attention of an actual person. I'm going to say that way as nicely as I possibly can. About what makes a video game potentially art. Can you care to guess what the games are? This is hysterical because I have my own opinion on these games. I've played both of them.
Captain, fantastic work. The Imperial Ministry of War is a firestorm over the Gauntlet's destruction. The SIS says that heads will roll over this, quite literally.
If the Imperials are busy fighting over blame, this is the perfect time for more strikes.
A good thought, actually. I'll have the SIS work up a priority listing of targets of opportunity right away. Your leadership and skill in conducting this ongoing operation have been exemplary. I'm promoting you to the rank of Major, effective immediately. Commensurate promotions will be issued to your squad members as well. Congratulations, Major.
I'm honored to accept this promotion, General.
You've earned it. When presented with extraordinary circumstances, you have delivered extraordinary results. I'm also recommending you for the Silver Crescent, in honor of the extraordinary valor you demonstrated in the attack on the Gauntlet superweapon. In recognition of injuries sustained in the line of duty, I've recommended Eric Jorgen for the Mark of Dedication, assuming you approve.
M14X risked himself to save the life of a squad mate. Doesn't he deserve something for that?
Droids serving in the Republic military are classified as equipment, not personnel. There is no precedent for granting a droid any sort of commendation. But if you feel strongly on the matter, I can see about having his contributions recognized appropriately. Now, I'm afraid that not all of our news is positive. We received the following holotransmission not long after the Gauntlet was destroyed.
Republic Command. I am General Racton of the Imperial Ministry of War. You have made a grave error. By destroying the Gauntlet, you have destroyed a weapon of peace and the final hope your people had.
Give me everything we've got on this man, General.
I'll have a dossier sent immediately. In short, Racton is the Empire's top commander, the mastermind behind their military campaigns.
I had hoped a device that removed the possibility of resistance would allow the Empire to achieve its great works without further bloodshed. But your actions have destroyed any hope for peace. I am forced to launch a campaign unlike any the galaxy has seen. Your soldiers will be slaughtered, your planets will burn, and your people will embrace the light of the Emperor's will at last.
Who I remind you wants to eat the galaxy, and all life in it.
Can Racton back up these claims?
He can, and I have little doubt that he will. For years, General Racton has outmaneuvered and outwitted every Republic force that has stood in his way, including mine. The SIS is watching for any sign of Racton's new campaign. Until we have solid data, Havoc Squad is relieved. Rest, recuperate, and be ready for my call. Dismissed, Major.
So, first of all, do you like how they just kind of slid under the cover there? The droids are qualified as equipment, legally speaking, which is all kinds of messed up for reasons I don't even feel the need to go into. Not like it's just a one line, an optional line, actually. But here's the 2 games that were cited. Raid, which is pretentious drivel, and Flower, which is an enjoyable relaxation simulator. So here's your answer.
Sir, I have excellent news. I've secured permission for us to use Form 859RA for our after-action reports, instead of the older 859R.
That's definitely really exciting, Alara.
A 1/6 reduction in form completion time. This should result in a cumulative time savings of more than 90 minutes within 4 weeks. It should be quite pleasant.
Great!
We've been through quite a bit, haven't we, sir? Since I joined Havoc Squad, I've seen more combat and performed more medical treatments than in my entire career beforehand. I've learned a great deal.
I'm glad you're getting some good experience here.
First-hand experience is always the best. I couldn't be prouder to be a part of Havoc Squad. I'm serving the Republic and becoming a better soldier and medic every day. And I have you to thank for it all. Most officers would never have given me this chance, but you did. Thank you.
I didn't want Havoc to be all men. The skills are a nice bonus, though.
Very funny. Enough talk. Let's put some of this experience to work, shall we?
I actually enjoy Flower, relatively speaking. It's just, for what it is, calling that a video game is itself a little bit of a stretch. Let me go over to... Where is it? There it is.
I have excellent news, sir. Given the rigorous nature of Havoc Squad's missions, my power core has seen extensive use, and its capabilities have increased as a result. I now have access to far greater energy reserves, significantly improving the quality of my service to the Republic.
Why are your textures crap? Oh, I think I know why. It is this, isn't it? Let's try this. Let's see what this does.
I have excellent news, sir.
Nope, that's not better. I'm just curious if the textures are just crap and that's the end of it, or if there's a way to make that, you know, look better.
I have excellent news, sir.
Oh, I think we're just stuck with bad textures. Okay, whatever. Okay. That's whatever.
I have excellent news, sir.
I can't wait to hear it.
Rigorous nature of I now have
You must be very proud, 4X.
I am, sir. Please, sir, if I may make a request, let's engage in combat as soon as possible. I'm eager to put my new capabilities to the test.
No, I know, Orkono. It's the same problem WoW has. If you go back to some of the old zones in WoW, the textures are awful. And it's really jarring, especially alongside the new zones where the textures are excellent.
Sir, if I may ask, I was wondering about your opinion on Imperial superweapons. Devices that can devastate entire fleets or worlds in a single strike. I find them intriguing.
Not the word I'd use.
No one should have weapons that powerful.
That is a popular viewpoint, but I cannot understand it. Surely such devices could see worthwhile use in the defense of freedom. Given these weapons' capabilities, I've been researching Imperial weapon designers to find a worthy target for Havoc Squad. One name stands out above all others, Colonel Rebus, the head of one of the Empire's top weapons research programs.
What have you learned about him, 4X?
I have located no personal information on Colonel Rebus, not even a physical description. Over the past 2 weeks, however, mentions of his name on Imperial comm channels have increased in frequency by 15.2%. This suggests a project nearing completion.
The Peace Star, I like it.
No time to lose, then. Where is he?
The location of Colonel Rebus's research lab is one of the most closely guarded secrets in the Empire. No information is available as yet. As soon as I learn more, I'll inform you right away.
Okay, so before we start the next one, Oreo asked a question earlier, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm ignoring them. Oreo says, I'm of two minds of the games equal art concept. On the one hand, people have dumped tons of soul, good word, into games and created unique and innovative experiences. Even the one we're playing right now. On the other hand, people have used the I'm creating art as an excuse to ignore criticism on a poorly made game, or to make a walking simulator that's barely interactive. What are your thoughts on this? I'm actually almost in total agreement with what you just said. It's video games. It's all across the board. And as with all things, a lot of things are used as an excuse rather than an actual reason. I also think that Mr. Red hit the nail on the head with one thing, too. And I think someone else, I think Bragwin earlier mentioned this, too. Games that are trying to be art have a tendency to fail. Not universally, of course, but I've seen this a lot. Where a game is like, it's going to be this big, great, artistic work, and it's crap, right? Or at the very least, it's not good. The reason I am so harsh on Braid, in specific, is Braid is a functional, if somewhat dull, puzzle platformer. What pisses me off about Braid is the fact that it is shoved so far up its own ass that it's actually done it a second time. It's looped. It's like this spiral of ass shoving. It's horrible. And that's the kind of thing that pisses me off. Braid tried so hard to be art that it stopped being a game. And that's kind of the problem with something like Flower as well. And remind you, I actually enjoyed Flower for what it was.
I've been looking over the customer files from Magarin's office. The guy really didn't know how to run an outfit. When you're selling guns, you always get the money up front. You only take installments from customers you can grab when they don't pay. Magarin had installment customers all over the galaxy, and, big surprise, a lot of them never paid off their bills. Amateur.
I'm surprised Magarin would hire people to go after you, but not his debtors.
You only wanted me dead, and hired killers come cheap these days. Good debt collectors are expensive. You actually have to trust them.
He's right.
There are credits to be made. People owed Magarin. I took him down, which means his stuff is my stuff now. Well, sorry, our stuff. Everyone who owed him owes me now. I'll look through the lists, find the big debts, and collect, and give you a reasonable cut. How's that sound?
Make it happen, Vic.
You got it, boss.
Yeah, Detroit I actually did. Papanix, you're absolutely right. And yes, I have actually studied art for, I think it was a full 4 years in school. You wouldn't know it because I never get to really talk about it. Occasionally I get to actually talk art shop with like Rye or Evo, but that's about it. And I'm a terrible artist.
This is General Garza. I need you to report to my office on Coruscant immediately. General Racton made his move. The Imperials have invaded dozens of Republic planets. Havoc Squad is needed immediately.
Where are we going first? Are we going to some awesome, amazing planet of incredibleness? Are we going to the best planet in the game?
Is there a plan for dealing with this invasion, General?
I'll brief you on the details when you arrive. Move quickly. Garza out.
It's time. Oh, God. Wait, hold up. What? Oh, God damn it. Yeah, we're in Act 3. Trooper Act 3. So, Litario asks, which class contributes the most to renewing of the war between the Republic and the Empire? Indirectly, Sith Warrior. No question. It was literally the main plot of Act 2 of the Sith Warrior story arc was restarting the war. Have I ever watched Game of Thrones? Functionally, no. Literally, yes. I'm gonna speed this up a little. Cashel asks a beautiful question. I'm going to ask this of all of you, too. So let's say you have access to a holodeck. Congrats. What work of literature, or movie, or video game would you like to play first? And which role do you play in that story? I know, right, Papanix? It's a great question. I hope Cashel's here to hear the answer to that, because I'm chewing on that for a minute.
Stand at ease. Let's get straight to the situation at hand. After we destroyed the Gauntlet, General Racton called a diplomatic summit with the heads of state of several Republic-allied planets along our borders. The summit was held aboard a neutral space station, where Racton's troops seized the heads of state by force, They are now hostages of the Empire.
You want Havoc to get the heads of state out of there alive.
Correct. It's the only way to stop Racton's plans. With their leaders held hostage, our allies are allowing Imperial troops to pass through their systems and strike us where we're vulnerable. Our forces are at their limit. The Imperials will overwhelm us unless we rescue these heads of state and block Racton's invasion routes.
What's our intel on the hostage's location?
The station where the heads of state are being held is called Outpost 256. Imperial security is tight, but we've developed an entry plan. Hellick, a diplomat for one of these worlds, is flying there to surrender his government's security codes. He's volunteered to sneak your team aboard.
It takes a lot of guts to fly into a hostage situation.
Yes, he's taking a great risk for us. Let's make the most of it. Your ship will ride alongside Hellick's, detaching at the last second and landing in an unused maintenance hangar aboard the station. Lieutenant Yun will slice into the station's security and stop any alarms from sounding while you storm the crew area and secure the hostages. Understood?
I'm ready to begin immediately, General.
Hellick will rendezvous with you at these coordinates. The Imperials are expecting him to deliver his security codes very soon, so move quickly. Remember, the safety of the Republic depends entirely on the safety of these men. Good luck.
Oh, that's why. So first of all, thank you very much, Claude Anderson. New Vegas is on the list. It absolutely has not been axed, but it's been baked into a block, the BRPG block. That's why you can't find it. But I will put that towards the BRPG block. Thank you, Claude Anderson, very much. Oh my god, Cashler, you even there? Because you have... I'm feeling just a little bit of choice paralysis. There are so many things I would love to do on a holodeck. And I'm talking like... I've said this before, the holodeck is... What it really, really is the ultimate interface. So the first thing I would actually want to do in the holodeck is make stuff. I would want to design games. I would want to make shows. I would want to put together movies and music and art on the holodeck. Because I could do that on the holodeck. I cannot be the only person who has a problem with getting stuff from here out to here, right? Do you have any idea how many art and game and music and story ideas I get daily? And that's not me bragging, that's me lamenting, because I can't do anything with any of it. It just sits there. Occasionally I take notes, in case someday I might actually be able to do something with it. And otherwise, it's just... ugh. So I would want to make stuff, you know? But that wasn't the question. The question was, you experience a pre-existing work of fiction. So, that's equally tough. Because there's so many things I'd love to play. I'd love to play Voyager. I'd love to play Final Fantasy VI. I'd love to play Chrono Trigger. I'd love to play Persona 5. I'd love to destroy Papanix for reminding me of how terrible the world is. Don't worry, I'll conquer the world and get rid of all that crap. I would play StarCraft. I suppose I'll just start getting answers. So, okay, hang on. Let's rewind here a second. Who would I play in Final Fantasy VI? You know the answer to that. Who would I play in Chrono Trigger? You know the answer to that, too. Who would I play in StarCraft? That's actually tough. I would be the Lich King in WoW. Or more accurately, I would replace the quintuple entity that is the second Lich King with myself. Just straight up replace him. Take the same slot, you know? I was debating Mengsk. I kind of like the idea of being Mengsk. What in the world? I'm confused by what I'm looking at here. But I could do so much with the Dominion.
Hello? Are you there? Havoc Squad, is that you?
This is Havoc Squad. It's good to meet you, Helic.
Yes, it's good to meet you too. Thank you for coming. You've done this sort of thing before, right? Rescuing hostages? I really don't know anything about you.
Don't worry, sir. My squad and I are very experienced.
Good. That's good to hear, thank you. The people of Aquila truly appreciate what you're doing for us. I'm sure the citizens of all the worlds affected by this situation do, too. You're risking your life for leaders you've never met, and I thank you.
Also, I could rewrite the story so the jailer doesn't exist, which I would.
The Republic is always proud to help its allies in need.
The citizens of Aquila will never forget the help you're giving us. I'm going to set a course for Outpost 256 now. Good luck, Major.
It was beautiful, Evo. I whipped tears. What the? Yoon is prepared to do stuff. Yoon will not be able to be there. You must go do stuff. Okay?
I'll find the other terminals and take them out.
You will alert the Imperials. May our path lead to victory. Okay. That was very strange, but okay. Cool. Cool. We're cool. I'm cool. Everything's cool. Let's say as intended, Golvai. Let's remove some of the out of it. Well, if I'm not mistaken, Oreo, you're putting all of that towards the Trails of Cold Steel block, right? That's what I have written down here. As for the other side of it, if you're here, well, my back's gonna have an interesting time. Not that I mind. It'll be the first time. Oh man, it's gonna be fantastic, Triaxion. He's just gonna be like, ah. Listen, I will never have to deal with any of this goddamn heat ever again. It'll be wonderful. What other stories? Oh, I didn't say who I would be in Voyager. I think we all know I'd be 7 of 9, obviously. I mean, she and I look just exactly the same. That's funny, considering what we're streaming. Oh, it would be... Me and my sister have literally, just to spend the time, have thought up ideas of what kind of D&D campaigns we'd run in a holodeck. It's okay, that's what the cybernetics are for, Golog. I knew it, Terra. Should call you Tyranny. Tyranny, there we go, perfect. Who would I be in TNG? So the knee-jerk answer is Riker. And the more I think about it, the more I think I might actually lean that direction. Now what you're thinking, why not Q? If it's a holodeck, I already am Q. You know what I mean? So, as far as playing a role, kind of leaning towards Riker. Ironically, in Voyager, I was joking about picking 7, sorry. On Voyager, I feel like Harry or Chakotay would have the most potential. Mostly because they do so little, you know? I suppose what we need to do is we need to break this question up into 2 things here. Because there's really, as I'm saying this out loud, there's actually 2 questions on display here. What story would you participate in, and what story would you rewrite? Because I just realized, without even thinking about it, I was presuming rewrite. You know, you start the scenario at this point, drop yourself in at this point, you pick a role, that's your character, but then you play however you want to, and it just, and the GM adapts to you, right? So, I've been assuming rewrite this entire time. If I had to stick with the script, you know, a holo novel, that actually changes it a lot.
Engaging hostile.
Wait, who's Jill Valentine? I'm being facetious. I think she's a badass. No, if I wanted to flirt 24/7, I'd play McCoy. Never Oreo. Honestly, playing an existing story is an interesting concept. It's gonna sound so pathetic. It's never even occurred to me to play an existing story on the holodeck. I mean, why would I do that when I can rewrite it? Let me think about that. We have reached the passage from the maintenance to the crew area. You now controls this door and all others, along with security measures. You'll be the only ones able to pass from each room to the next. All Imperials will experience technical difficulties. Life sign scanners show many guards within the crew area. The battle to reach the hostages we seek is sure to be fierce. Please journey cautiously.
Thanks for the heads up, Lieutenant.
It is Yoon's honor to contribute. I mean, I think the idea, and Star Trek portrays this, if you remember, Lunaruth, is when you're playing a character in a holonovel, you're supposed to be in character the whole time. You're supposed to go along with the story. Which makes sense, and there's an appeal to that as well. It's basically watching a movie from within the movie. So it's not like I don't get the appeal to that, it's just... It didn't even occur to me, because I'd want to rewrite things, because it's me. Because it's me. I'm a remixer. What do you want from me?
Engaging hostile.
Who the... Public soldiers?
Major! It's such a relief to see you. Is the plan working? Is everything going all right?
The station systems are in our control. I'm heading for the hostages now.
That's fantastic.
Why didn't you tell us there was a rescue mission going on, Hellick? We could pitch in. I'm ready to get some payback.
That doesn't seem wise. We would probably just get in the way. Let's leave this to the professionals.
Stay out of the crossfire. Hold here and keep your heads down.
Yes. Whatever you think's best, Major.
At least we won't be in here much longer. Good luck, pal. Give those imps what's coming to them.
You got it. Yeah, no, exactly. Holodecks are interactive. When you play Dragon Age Origins, you change how you play it, right? By virtue of playing it. But okay. So, it's a holodeck movie. Again, holonovel is what they call it. It's a holodeck movie. So, 3 things jump out at me immediately. The original Star Wars trilogy, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and the Back to the Future trilogy. So in Star Wars, the original Star Wars trilogy, I would probably take Lando Calrissian. He doesn't have that much of a role, but I think that'd be a lot of fun to play. I know, I'm not black. But, goddammit, he's such a great character. And I wouldn't want to be Han, and I wouldn't want to be Luke. And the only other option is Vader. Although it would be fun to play Vader. And Palpatine only shows up in parts of the 3rd movie. So, I guess that's the same problem. Okay, fine, I'll be Vader. Christ. Fine. Okay, fine. Whatever, I'll be Vader. Ugh. Lord of the Rings.
You've made a wise choice. Embracing the Imperial way of life will bring prosperity and security to your floundering worlds.
Thank you, General. You've given us a great opportunity, and we appreciate it.
Indeed. It's unfortunate that your colleagues couldn't be persuaded to... Guards! Security breach! Engage Protocol 27 immediately!
Weapons on the floor, people. Now!
Servants of the Emperor never surrender. Guards, execute.
My first thought was Sam for Lord of the Rings trilogy. By the way, I specifically mean the movies, not the books. I have no desire to play through the books. But I was thinking Sam. I would also accept Aragorn, but I would go for Sam.
Focus your fire. Don't let up.
Yeah, correct, Uthor. That is very correct. Hey, look at this grass! Being Frodo would probably suck, even in that situation.
Incoming!
I wasn't dropping no weave, sir. Honest. What? That's just Jim of the Verge. You catch my meaning? I mean, I heard a little bit about the Dark Lord and the end of the world, but I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to.
Who are you?
Please don't turn me into anything unnatural. Anyways, what's up?
Coming for you next, Racton.
We're saved. The Republic has saved us. Thank you. Thank you.
Shut your mouth, traitor. You don't even deserve to breathe the same air as the rest of us.
These cowards were signing up with Racton. They traded their planets to the Empire in exchange for lifetime leadership positions.
Did you really join up with the imps?
What choice did we have? Our lives were at stake. Our people's lives. Don't hide behind your people. You gave up. You betrayed everything that we've fought for. Alliances we've all held for generations.
We are at war. We don't have room for cowards or traitors. You deserve to be executed.
Agreed. Give these traitors what they deserve. If anyone asks, we'll say the Imperials murdered them.
I'm sorry. That musical cue. It's even funny if you recognize this song and understand its significance.
In the Republic, the accused stand trial. They aren't executed on a whim.
Agreed. Only by adhering to our own laws and principles can we hope to stand apart from the Empire, and ultimately defeat it.
We are at war. We should not suffer allies who cannot be depended upon.
This will never happen again. Now that we've seen Imperial diplomacy firsthand, I don't think we'll take part in any future summits.
Now you can appreciate what the Republic offers.
We will never betray the Republic again. Never.
Can we get off this miserable station now? Where's my man Hellick? Did he ever turn up?
I sent Hellick and the rest of your crews to hold out with my squad. Come in, Yoon. Mission complete. Unlock the crew area so our allies can regroup with their associates.
Affirmative. You will also bring the ship to the crew area to facilitate quicker return to General Garza.
We owe you our lives, soldier. The Republic has proven how much it values us as allies. It's time we return the favor.
Tell your leaders that starting now, no Imperial will set foot on our worlds without paying in blood. Long live the Republic!
Long live the Republic!
Right. Anyways. Use your ship to travel to Coruscant. Okay. On my out! No, okay, I'll walk out. Actually, nope, that's a long walk. Never mind, we will do this. I do not think we'll ever get a holodeck. Virtual reality... I mean, even in the track rewrite, we're getting rid of the holodeck because of how nonsense it is. So, in Back to the Future, there are only two options. Marty McFly, the moron, or Doc Brown. There's no choice there. Great Scott! Great Scott! 21 book... Oh, shoot, what's the number? 21 points. Ah! Is it 2.21? Gigawatts? Oh, no, it is 1. It is 1.21. That's why it didn't sound right. 1.21 gigawatts! Ah! That's true, I could spend the entire second movie sleeping, Oreo. And the entire third movie not being in it. Yeah, so I'd take Doc Brown. Now, Lothario asks, what do I think about being Sauron? I mean, in the movies, in a non-interactive movie, no thank you. God, you're right, she's not even in the first movie. The mother is in the first movie more. Lorraine. Why is that not... Oh. One second. There we go.
Major, stand at ease. It's good to see you again. Welcome back.
You remember Supreme Commander Rands? We were reviewing the results of your mission. You did an excellent job on Outpost 256. Congratulations.
I'm just glad we could intervene.
Our allies are glad too. I'll see that Hellick receives a commendation of some kind. The plan worked just like we'd hoped. When word of the rescue got out, our allies began immediate strikes against the Empire's forces. We've won a major victory, but the war is just beginning. Your squad will be playing a vital role in our campaign against Rakton.
Havoc Squad is ready to serve, General.
Right now, we need every advantage we can get. Every available force must be put to work to counter the Empire's moves.
Some of our top military units are bogged down on backwater planets instead of serving on the front lines where they belong.
Havoc Squad is going to get our top forces where they need to be, starting with a group of elite pilots trapped on Belsavis. Understood?
Belsavis.
Can you give me any intel on Belsavis, General?
We'll discuss the details once you've arrived in orbit.
Our forces are still spread thin. Saving our allies has relieved some pressure. But to turn the tide, we need every advantage we can get.
We will not accept defeat at the hands of the Empire. We will defeat them, utterly and completely.
For the Republic.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to mentally break myself. I'm trying to break myself in preparation for Belsavis. I wouldn't want to be Marion. Now, I wouldn't mind being Melkor. Nobody likes the Dreadmasters. Alright, hang on. So let's get her theme song going here.
Sir, there is a very important matter that requires your immediate attention.
Kiss me!
Randy, aged 30 years. One of the few personal effects I brought with me when I defected. I waged a veritable war to have it returned once my legal status was established. It's all but impossible to find in Republic space. I want you to have it.
Aww. I hate alcohol, but thank you.
Speechless, Ilara. Thank you very much.
You've been a fine commander and a very good friend to me. A token of appreciation seemed quite overdue. Don't hesitate to share if you should decide to open it. Sir, I was wondering if you've received any messages from Captain Kaylor recently. I've not heard anything since the situation with Raidu. I'm a bit concerned, to be honest.
Captain Kaylor hasn't sent me any messages.
I suppose it's possible he's moved on to other cases, but I can't help but suspect that he's still planning something. I attempted to contact him for my standard activity report, but I was told that he's out of the office on an important assignment. I can't help but wonder if I'm a part of that assignment. I don't look forward to finding out.
Whatever Kaelor does, we'll deal with it.
We have enough to deal with as it is. I shouldn't be thinking about problems that may not exist. Sorry to trouble you, sir. Let's just get back to work.
Well, Evo's gone forever. It's just about to answer her question, too.
I ever tell you about the time we were ordered to take out Moff Dallam? Dangerous mark. Wiley's the... Hang on. Incoming transmission. Care to guess who it is?
Major, Senior Agent Zane here. Apparently, I didn't make myself clear earlier. Or perhaps you thought an unauthorized rescue mission wouldn't constitute as interfering?
We knew exactly what we were doing.
Thought so. I understand your concern for your comrades, but you morons are only complicating things.
You're addressing the commander of Havoc Squad, Zane. You will show her the proper respect.
Apologies, but this is a delicate operation and your continued involvement will only jeopardize its completion.
So involve us, you idiot!
You know where the other Deadeyes are being held. Tell me.
Seems to have slipped my mind.
Your operation's falling apart, Zane. Now either rescue the Deadeyes yourself, or get out of the way.
I don't take orders from grunts. This mission is over when I say it is.
Dude.
I've had it with this guy. Permission to cut him off, sir.
Permission granted.
Good riddance. I can't tell if he really dropped the ball on this one or if he's still just lying to us. Either way, the SIS had their chance. Time for Havoc Squad to get the job done right.
Time to go rogue. Next time. We're kind of busy right now. Isn't he?
There have to be better ways to waste our time, sir.
Check in on Eric Jorgen in your ship's medical bay. Where the hell? Oh my God. So there's Eric Jorgen, and there's Eric Jorgen. Over there, over there. Which one do I shoot? Which one do I shoot? Wait a minute. There's only one way to be sure. Situation dealt with.
Good news, sir. Dorn's giving me a clean bill of health. I'm free to get back to work right away.
I'll be glad to have you backing me up again.
Let's get to it.
Sure glad you didn't die, Jorgen. Wink. Just... Oreo asks an adapted question. If I could be any character on Voyager, and I have to act within the limits of the character, but I can alter the story as it's going within the limits of the character, who would I be and how would I act differently? So first of all, obviously I'd be Tom, because then I would have B'Elanna as a girlfriend. Duh. But other than that... Now, there's the cheating answer to that question, and there's the real answer to that question. So here's the cheating answer to that question. I would be Janeway. Because Janeway has no real limits to her character, so I can do whatever the hell I wanted to. And be fully in character. Belsavis. The real answer, honestly, is Tom. As much as I don't really want to get with B'Elanna, I suppose I could avoid that. But Tom has enough connections and talents and knowledge and forethought to be able to interact with a lot of people in a lot of different ways to kind of rejigger things. So I'd pick Mr. Paris. Now, I've been thinking about this for a minute, and as much as I'd love to pull an extra long shift, I think I'm actually going to chop off early. It's only 4 minutes early. That way we can start Belsavis fresh tomorrow. I mean, seriously, we're 4 minutes from the cutoff time anyways. So let me update the HUD really quick, because we've had a few updates. So hang on. So I've decided to go back to just keeping track of Trooper. We're up to 6 positives. Thank you, Alara and Forex, for making this wonderful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we are on story. We've also got some potentials there. And over down on gameplay, we have so far 0 gameplay positives for Trooper so far. And let's see here. 10 gameplay negatives. Tomorrow, at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be doing Belsavis.